This is QTalk America.
The following broadcast contains adult humor, language, and topics, along with partial nudity. Actual knowledge is used sparingly. The show is a result of a lost bet and a bad game of rock, paper, scissors. It's The Show with Clayton McKee. And now, a man with a face for radio, Clayton McKee.
For the love of God, we're here. We're queer. Get over it. We somehow seem to be on the air. Everybody's here. We have a guest in studio. We'll tell you more about her in a second. As soon as I figure out how to get our camera shot correct. It's only week 2 of this goddamn video thing.
We're on video?
Oh, yeah.
Shit.
Oh, I got it. There we are. We're all up on our shot. Joe's at home having about a heart attack, but he's fine now. She is here in spite of her better senses. Ladies and gentlemen, rejoining us, Molly Montgomery is in studio with us.
Hello, darling.
She's got a sassy pink hat. Look at her.
Ooh,
and she's been baking all day.
I have.
She's not even stoned. Ladies and gentlemen,
Not even a little. Not like Laura.
Marnie Ryer.
Hi there.
And a gentleman who's had a recuperating, busy, and a work week all since Sunday.
Courtney Lovely.
Al Perkins is here.
It's the Courtney Love Show. I'm Courtney Love.
Oh, my heavens. Well, we'd like to welcome you all. Well, go ahead, Marnie. What?
I was just going to say, no, that's not a good impersonation because you sound too coherent.
Yeah. Well, coming up...
and I get that.
We can fix that.
Coming up later on the show, I do have some audio clips of our Sunday evening at Al's house.
Oh.
If you know Al on
Who's
Facebook,
not
you'll
looking
understand.
forward to that?
Yeah, well,
Oh, you're going to love it.
I have several.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It's good.
That's good.
It was fun for me. All accumulating when Marnie had to spit.
Live from a blackout.
Yeah, when Marnie spit champagne all over me and half a wall.
I couldn't help it.
It was fantastic.
It was. Like, all of a sudden I look over and he's like wiping his
I needed an umbrella in your living room.
You were very, very funny with
A
that.
Gallagher show.
Almost. No watermelons were harmed.
Less
true.
fruit. Yeah.
Well, not necessarily in that living room. Yeah, in that living room, I disagree.
Good call, Marty.
But there are a lot of people in the state of Arizona that are going to spend a year without me judging them about not being able to hold their liquor.
Right. Totally get it.
There's
I
a
would
lot
never
of
judge.
free passes going on.
I would
According
never
to Joe,
judge.
Al, you should move slightly to the left.
Bravo.
There you go. Oh, you didn't get the briefing. We need to line ourselves up with the lines in the table there with it.
Why doesn't your microphone have to be sideways?
Because he keeps turning it.
Oh.
There you go. I don't know.
I didn't get every memo.
I wasn't trying to sell you out. I just thought, why does he get a special mic?
Oh, for the love. If you're joining us on our new video stream, there is audio video combined. Thank you for being there with us. It's QTalk America. My name's Clayton McKee. We are here in studio in the QTalk Plaza on this lovely, it's the last Tuesday night in February. Can you believe it? We're at the end of February.
No.
My
not
God.
at all.
It's crazy.
I haven't finished my Christmas shopping yet.
I haven't found anyone to buy gifts for.
Anybody you want to buy gifts for, I understand. So we come to you live each and every Tuesday night from 7 to 10, right here from the palatial QTalk studios. If you're listening to us on our standard live audio stream that's been there since day one, we welcome you as well. If you'd like to kick over and watch us on the video, we encourage you to do so. Several screenshots. There's other fun things coming up. We have headlines. We drink a little. We talk about a lot of stuff. Today, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of topics in regards to the city of Phoenix, the Pope, maybe the Oscars, and then then what Al doesn't remember of a party at his house.
We'll just call that recap.
Yeah, we're going to have
And thank God I taped it to watch it all the next day. But I did wake up on my floor face down,
Yes.
and I could list all the winners.
Well played.
And I
Okay.
remembered a conversation from there, but there was just no details. There's just like, my brain knew it's the Oscars. Pay attention to this part. Now go back to black.
the savant part of
Fade
him
to
kicked
black.
in. Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Fade to black.
Exactly. I'm trying to...
That's almost Manchurian.
I'm trying to...
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah. Well, wait till you hear some of these audio clips.
Yeah.
Oh.
I may be speaking Manchurian.
We're not sure.
Something.
But for certain, if it's your opinion, I'm not going to be able to say it. I don't even know if I can say Manchurian correctly. My God.
You don't need to.
Probably not. Maybe not. Well, if you're wondering where the lovely and talented Katy June is, well, she had something better to do on a Tuesday night. So the morning after the Oscars, where she was with us, by the way, she was with us. She sent me a message, and somehow some amazing trip came up out of the blue, and she and her wife and the child decided
Fuck
to take
her.
it.
That's all I'm saying.
Well,
Yeah.
but Molly, you can't say that because look at you. You're here.
I know.
You're
Oh,
here.
it's a delight.
But
Now,
still.
were they off to the Durangos?
I
Where are they off
don't
to
know.
now?
Somewhere, but she promises this is like the last time she'll ask off. Which,
Oh, for
which I
heaven's
know,
sake.
I know that's a lie. I've met
Oh,
Katy.
yeah.
Which, by the way, I'm going to need all of your time off requests soon so I can schedule other people to fill in your
Mine
spot.
is July.
All of July?
No, just I think 2 weeks.
Oh, well, that's fine.
Possibly a third week if there's
We did that
flight,
last-
if there's flight.
We did that
issues.
last summer with you, I
Yeah.
recall. But this year, because we figured out how to have no delay in phone calls, we'll be able to go live with you and you'll be able to interact for just mere minutes without a delay.
I know, and I'll be like way out in the Atlantic Ocean.
Oh.
Not way out. I'll be able to see the shore, but still.
Well, is it swimmable?
What are you, surfing somewhere?
I'm going somewhere that I'm not entirely sure where it is, which is the first time I've ever done this.
It's sort of like you going to the west side of Phoenix.
Right. Right. Mesa.
Okay. Oh, well, that's
Oh,
another
yeah.
lost
Yeah, yeah.
guide.
That's where I don't know. I don't know where you mean.
I don't know. Where
I've never heard of this
I
fabled
don't know
land.
what that is.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm having a drinking challenge already early because I left last week's beverage in the freezer thinking, well, it won't freeze. Well, because I diluted it down enough with Diet Coke and ice, well, it didn't. It froze.
Yeah,
That's your own
remember
damn
last
fault.
week I was trying to suck the sludge out of the straw to get it to work?
That's true. Oops.
God damn. No.
That's Diet Coke.
Well, no, it's not. Wow. All of a sudden, I'm B. Arthur.
Yeah, wow, Marnie.
However, I did figure out that it's left over in the fridge, and I chose not to bring the blender over tonight because I thought we didn't have the makings. We still
we
do.
have everything in
we
there.
do. We still have
I haven't taken a thing home.
Yeah.
Everything's in there.
So, and since I'm the only one who didn't, well, but you took a cab, right, Molly?
I did.
Yeah. So since I'm the only one who didn't drive, I rode my bike. So I can drink.
Yeah.
You all are. I don't know what you're drinking in that cup. Is that coffee?
I'll cab it home. I don't care where I leave my car. You know that.
Oh, that's true. You don't even care that you have a car.
I'll leave that car anywhere.
And ditto on that.
Exactly.
Duh.
Safe is in the arms
It's
of Jesus.
kind of like, where's Waldo? I could give.
Where's
a
my
rat's
car?
ass.
Yeah, he cares less about his car than I do mine.
You know what I wonder
Yeah.
about our plaza, and if those of you who know where we are understand how this little office complex is, I wonder if they would get upset if we just started parking our cars in the locked little
My
driveway
mom
there.
almost did. The taxi I took tonight was my
I
mom.
think that's
And she almost just drove right through the gates.
what would be the harm? People can walk around it.
Yeah. What would be the harm?
We'll
The
have to
fire truck
inquire.
would have a problem.
The
They
fire
could.
truck.
That's true.
That's true.
I'm
they
always
could.
worried about fire safety for some reason. I have no idea
appreciate
why.
that.
Have you ever had a fire issue, like any kind of a close
No,
call?
but don't wish it on me.
Well, no,
because
right?
I'm not. I
Don't
would
say
never.
it 3 times. It'll happen to Al.
I would never wish that on you at all. Period. Okay, so typically we kick off our story. Our story begins. I'm sorry.
Where we last left off.
Right, I'm a little scattered. I was running a little late in getting here. You know, again, it's always one of those things where you plan your day and you hope. Well, first of all, I added something to my day that I never should have, which is my problem. But the other one is so many other people like to inflict their lives on yours.
Yeah.
Phone calls and customers and emails.
Dogs.
I should go into radio.
this motherfucker is never on.
I know, because I
Your
try to
phone
call
calls
you.
will never interrupt me because I gather them all at 7 p.m. I'm like, oh, look who's dying.
Oh. Or died.
I loved what you posted on Sunday about if you're calling about something other than the Oscars.
Oh, please hang up and try your call again.
Yeah.
What would your purpose be? Yeah. I get it.
Oh,
But there's no one that knows, and that's why, because Buddy was talking about this text coming in. Why would you text someone during? I mean, I don't even understand the concept. Like people are like, I'm going to be posting on Facebook. Why would you be on Facebook when the Oscars are on the TV? Like,
well, and then the other kicker is we're not on real time.
yeah,
Right.
We start 45 minutes to an hour late anyway because we were cooking or you or I wasn't. I showed up and had my recliner. I was not cooking, but we start a little late so that we can zip through commercials and so forth. So the goal is to end the show about the same time everybody else ends the show, but we've skipped through all of the boring
Yeah,
shit.
no. I was sick as a dog. I didn't even start it till 9-ish. Done by midnight.
We started it about an hour late, and then Al started it again the next morning so he could figure out what he missed.
parts of it were delightful.
Yes, absolutely.
So Molly, now you just had some sort of a scare, and we're gonna call it a scare. It was your dog broke free from your home.
Not only did he break free from his crate, he ate the screen, and then jumped through the front window of my living room.
This is twice that he's eaten and gotten his way out, right? Didn't he eat through a fence or a...
He's gotten his way out of lots of things, yes.
Well, I got a two-part question for you. One, does he realize you don't really like dogs? Is that the part of it?
It could be. Could be why he's doing it. Two, could be now I've realized why his former owner didn't want him. And
that was actually my second part of the question.
Yeah. Could be also now I know how County picked him up so easily. Because he's not staying. Yeah.
When he gets out, does he just kind of sit like, I'm free?
Oh, yeah. He was just standing in the next door neighbor's front yard. Hey, how's it going?
All right.
Pet me. Yeah.
Oh.
Except I believe
It's a welcoming committee.
his voice is somewhere around here. So when I pulled up, he was like, well, hello, Miss Ma'am. I'm very glad to see you. I don't know what happened to your window.
But I feel right terrible.
I do. I feel terrible about
terrible.
that.
Yeah. So I've got security tending my house right now.
Okay.
One of them, bless her heart. And fortunately, I rolled up to my house to find him in the front yard with the broken window alongside my BFF, who's a cop.
Okay.
So she, of course, hopped out, gun drawn, all Charlie's Angels, to go into the house to make sure that it
Wasn't
was in
somebody
fact
else?
Oh, so your security system went off.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
You could
Yes.
say that.
We're going to go with yes on that? Okay.
Yeah, you could say that.
Yep, it did.
So that's what happened. So
Thank God we're not on camera.
Yeah,
Right.
because nobody can see these awkward looks.
Right.
I just said yes. I don't know about that.
So right now, what time is it? Yeah, right now my girlfriend is standing guard at the house while my BFF, the cop, goes to Home Depot to secure some plywood. Frankly, I don't believe I'll be sleeping tonight. Yeah. And we've also secured the crate with a zip tie at every seam. There's literally like 100 zip ties now on his crate because he can
chew
can't
through
get
a
out.
screen. Are you sure we can't get him to chew through a zip tie?
And I can't think of the word. What was the other thing?
Crazy.
Asshole?
Was it a trellis? What did he chew through last time? Not a trellis, but what's that word?
Yeah, it was.
Is it trellis?
No, there's another word.
Yeah.
What's that word?
Lattice.
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 Trellis.
Rhymes
Lattice.
with Gladys.
Lattice.
Yes. Lattice.
Abner, come
Exactly.
Yeah, all right.
So, and this all happened within 2 hours of when I was supposed to be here.
Yeah, she texts me, I may be late. My dog just escaped out of the window. No, really, the dog escaped. I had no reason to doubt you,
Yeah,
Molly.
no, I didn't want you to think it was like the dog ate my homework kind of.
Well, we had
kind of
a
thing.
sick as a dog that was really sick dog one time. Remember when Aaron couldn't make it,
yeah.
and she said her dog was sick, and you
And
read
I
it
thought
as
she
sick
was
as a
sick.
dog.
She was
Yeah.
sick, and I came in. I'm like, nope.
So we did have a
No.
dog eat your homework, kind
that's
of.
true.
Yeah, but
Now, if I blame my dog for something,
You
we're in
know
trouble.
that's a damn
maybe
lie.
I'm lying.
Right.
if you blame any other non-human for your problems, we know you're lying.
That was
Because-
one of my favorite storylines, though, on Veep. Was her assistant
Oh,
who
with the
blamed everything on his dog that didn't exist.
Oh, and then all of a
Yeah.
sudden you find out there's no dog.
No, everybody knows except for her.
Everybody knows except-
it's the-
Oh.
except but,
for
like
Veep.
everybody in the
Yeah.
in the Washington press knows that he doesn't have a dog,
Right.
and it's just so he can go home when they're going to have like overnights. He's like, oh, I got to go walk the dog.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
And that's how he gets out. And finally, at the end, everyone hates him so much. They're like, you know that motherfucker doesn't have a dog. And she's like, what? I bought it a chew toy. And everyone, like every joke is still got the dog.
Right.
I can't wait for that to come back. Such a
Right?
funny show.
That's on HBO, right?
It is.
Yes.
Got it. I only know that because you've said it. I certainly haven't watched it.
Oh, it's
not,
hysterical.
Not at all. Well, turning our tables to the one and only Marnie Ryer, who has a lovely, look at your pink chapeau.
Do you like that?
That's French, by the way. Like that?
Yeah.
I don't even
I
have a
don't-
clue what that stands for.
It's the Minnesota Twins baseball.
I don't. What I still don't get is.
Twin Cities. I got you
Twin
right.
Cities.
Oh, thank you. Answered
Yeah.
my question because I wasn't sure what the C was for.
Yeah,
Because I
Twin
assumed that,
Cities.
I thought maybe they used to be like the Cleveland Twins and then they moved, so I wasn't sure. So TC is the either Twin Cities or a drag queen that's local. TC
Could be.
Taylor.
That's
could
right.
be. Yeah.
But no, it is Twin
it
Cities.
could be, but no.
No.
Could be, but no. All
Twin
right.
Cities.
Now
Twin Cities.
you've been yeah, I mean you're certainly welcome to tell us what else you've been doing, but I see you've made an accoutrement of baked goods.
Well, actually, just two. Unless an accoutrement can be two.
I don't know how many accoutrement is. Google that, somebody.
An
Somebody-
accoutrement.
Yeah.
Mo. All right.
I have snickerdoodles because Al loves the snickerdoodles,
I
and I figured
do.
truly he deserved them. after Sunday.
Right.
And then
I think rehab may have been what he needed after
No,
Sunday.
again,
Sometimes rehab is just a
never,
cookie. I brought Girl Scout cookies, but
love
these are
it.
spectacular.
Yes.
These bitches got nothing on that shit.
As my day is long, I will never fucking judge somebody for their cocktailing. So done, and done. And then the other was something that I had been waiting to make because of Buddy, and it was their choodles. Because remember, he was always talking about
the corn choodles was the cereal he used to eat, which
And
never
I've
existed.
Been fucking searching for that shit.
Right,
well,
no, it's
they
not.
just have choodles, and it's just chocolate snickerdoodles. So
Okay.
I have absolutely no idea if
I
they're
enjoy
good, if they're bad, if they're whatever.
I'll go in.
I'm going to say,
they
Al's
have-
not going
now,
to care.
Though I would do these as far as those are the most recent out of the oven, but the other ones are here because we're, in basically not celebration to a point. Good. Oh well, good. Found you.
Which one?
The
Whatever that is.
so
Could I get one, Molly? Could you pass me one? Thank you.
That is
These are the choodle. They're
chocolatey
warm.
nonsense.
I know, I
Let's
told
just call it
you.
what it
Oh, I
is.
didn't hear. I'm busy trying to run a show.
I just finished those.
Oh, that's great.
But I in honor, not honor, in fuck you of the Pope, and I mean that in the nicest way.
Oh, you're good.
There's
Glad you enjoy
crosses
them.
and
We have
mangers
crosses,
and
no mangers.
Pope-mobiles.
Pope-mobiles.
Oh, we have a religious story coming
Dibs
up
on
too
the
in heaven.
crown.
Nice. What's that?
Dibs on the crown.
Nice. 2 crowns there. So,
I'm going to wear it and I'm going to fucking eat it.
But needless to say, I just thought it was a nice way to say, don't let the Vatican door hit you in the ass,
Yeah.
mofo.
Mofo.
The end.
The end, yeah.
Yeah. But the week was lovely, and we went to a really neat thing on Saturday called Corks and Cactus. Corks and Cactus. It was at Desert Botanical.
Okay.
Beautiful. Just
Oh, is
love
that
it
where
there.
the picture you posted of you and Aaron
Yeah.
over the tree? Around the tree?
Seidel was like, "Is that your senior pictures?"
It kind of looked like
It
that.
kind of looked like it, but
It really did.
we went there with Brenda and Robin, and it was like a late Valentine's thing. Just had a wonderful time, and thank God we went Saturday, not Sunday, because we probably would have been blown away. Sunday was a little breezy, but it was neat. It was this big wine thing that I knew Brenda and Aaron would enjoy because they're winos.
Yeah.
Nicely said. Mm-hmm. So, and Robin and I enjoyed the sweeter, the Moscatos, which there was only really one. So we enjoyed that. And
However
kind
you
of-
get there.
However you get there. But it was nice to just be outside, and it was so beautiful outside. And so we just all enjoyed, and yeah, lovely weekend. The end.
Well, there's that. Well, I got Alfred Perkins. Now, I was surprised.
Oh, then I went to an Oscar party. I forgot.
Yeah, well,
but I think we'll probably talk about that at some point.
I think
Maybe.
that may be our whole second hour. I have a good feeling.
Hi, my name is Al.
Hi, Al.
My bottom occurred here next to a speaker in my living room.
We don't need to admit on air about bottoms. Stop. Leave
And
it alone.
I don't think that was your first bottom.
My favorite.
Yeah, probably not.
No.
We'll get to it, but my favorite line so far out of that whole thing was, blue cheese just isn't a good choice.
Well, when you're
My favorite, Doug Wilkie!
Will, that's coming up, by the way. That's
Dear
coming.
God. Now I do have to say that this is like the longest tradition in my life, like more than like Christmas with my family, because I only lived there for 19 years. Is the
You've been here longer, right?
Yeah, the Wilk and I doing the Academy Awards together since '88. I think we've only missed 3. I was trying to figure out today.
I think that's what you said the
We
other
may
night.
have a
Yeah, he was in New York
recording.
for one. I was in New York for one, and then
You were in France and you couldn't find it anywhere.
No,
Right.
but that doesn't count. The France one I did. I still lived in New York when I went. The first
No.
time I went to France, I lived in New York.
Now, the story you told the other
Yeah,
night,
that was
that was
different.
part of what you said
Yeah.
was when you missed.
Yeah, I did miss it because I went all over I went all over Paris looking for the Oscars because they say that. It's broadcast around the world to over 1 billion people, and I was screaming at people, 1 billion people! 1 billion people! Where's the Oscars? And the next day, I never got to see it, and it was
No
a
wonder the
Kathleen
French
Turner
hate
year.
us.
Yeah.
Did they do it the February after September 11th, or is that one that they went?
They've only there
We're
was
too sad.
They were only late once, and that was the day that Reagan got shot. They postponed a day.
Wasn't there one award show though?
The Golden Globes, I think.
that they said were not.
Or People's Choice.
Oh, the
or
Emmy
somewhere.
Awards.
Were
The
more
Emmy,
naming or
the
something?
Emmy Awards kept
Keep
getting
naming 'em.
bumped.
Oh.
The Emmy Awards got bumped like 2 or 3 times because we bombed Afghanistan. Like things kept happening, and it was Ellen DeGeneres finally hosted, and Barbara Streisand was a guest and sang "You'll Never Walk Alone" at the very end.
Oh my
and-
God.
Oh yeah, I
Sobs.
so much award show
We
trivia
are going
trapped
to be
in one head.
We're going to be talking about the Barbara Streisand thing.
Yes,
also,
yes.
right? Okay.
So and is it? Is it my
I just
turn?
want to point out that apparently
It passed.
No. I didn't. That I don't know.
Oh.
But there's the feed is going in and out. You can watch for less than a minute and then it stops.
Okay, other people are having problems. Some
Okay.
aren't. Figure out your own audio device.
Yeah,
Email
okay.
Joe in the
And-
chat room. You can email
Okay.
him and he'll coach you through it.
Cool.
But
I just didn't know if it was a
some
thing that was
people,
going on.
some
otherwise.
people last week were thinking that you had to click on the video feed and then click on the old audio feed,
Right.
which obviously are not synchronized. One video feed gets you audio, video. It's a lovely,
Whole thing.
lovely
Yeah.
mashup. Yes.
Don't try to be everywhere.
Yeah. No. And by the way, if
Billy,
you're,
don't be a hero.
also, if
Yeah.
you're listening to us, I know that there is a chat room available in the, is it called Ustream or iStream?
Ustream.
The thing
We
where you
all
get the
stream
video.
from
Oh, I
Ustream
see, right.
for
We are
QTalk.
not participating in that chat room, only the regular QTalk chat, which you can find on the QTalk America page at the bar at the top. Al, it's your turn
And,
now.
and I'm having trouble. I was trying to get on the Ustream and I had to give up. I couldn't make it work. It wasn't.
I actually I think Joe
but you don't have to
disabled it.
watch the video. No, it's on. Katie was on there.
Oh, well, she needs to fucking get
Yeah,
off of it.
Katie was on there.
Oh, fine. So she can take a goddamn vacation, but she'll still sit and, I have to watch the show.
Yeah, she
Sure.
wants to see. So it was a fun week. So I just keep working so much. It's crazy. And
Why did you have to-
never want to bitch about it because I have a great job.
Right.
I make good money. I'm paid very well
How
for what
could
I
the
do.
restaurant get along without you?
No, they
Exactly.
can get
They
along
couldn't.
fine, but there's just hours
And
available
the
and I'm working
patrons
them.
at
I
the
was so
restaurant, I can
Yeah,
tell
they
you,
love my chicken.
appreciate
They
you.
love my chicken.
Yes.
Not
I
gonna
was
lie to
really
you.
surprised that you worked on Monday. I don't know what happened.
It just screwed up scheduling. Just,
Okay.
Yeah. Somebody.
like yesterday?
That was somebody fucking with me.
You worked yesterday?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Last night.
Yeah.
Last night.
No, but it was fine. I had been asleep since midnight
Well,
the night
there's
before,
that.
so
Okay, good call. I
got a
can-
good 16 hours
Yeah,
of rest in.
that's
There
true.
was
on a
that.
cool
That is
tile
true.
floor.
That's-
A cold tiled floor.
It's taught by Ruthie. That's the Ruthie rule. So Saturday, I was gonna spend the 2 days getting things ready for the party, but Saturday I was like, you know what? I hadn't seen them more yet. So this was the first year that since they went to 10 or 9 or more than 5 that I actually saw all the movies again. I finally saw them all. So I had to rush and see them more. And then I got home and there was a documentary that I've been dying to see since last summer when Buddy talked about it. And it was in my living room. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm watching this and then I'm going to bed. So I just got up on Sunday and I had to clean the house. I had to go grocery shopping. I had to cook. I never ate. I did the Mark Martinez. I broke the golden rule of not eating when you know there's liquor coming. I
Really
seriously
high
ate it.
Mardi Gras.
Oh yeah.
Hello, Pork Chop Tuesday.
Oh, and the no food thing really did not
have
serve
a protein
me well.
shaken, and then everything else. Good for you.
But it was such a good time, but just stress right up until it started,
course.
and then I just parked myself down with clearly a bottle of wine and cheap champagne because all the good champagne that I was keeping everybody away from is still completely intact.
Love
So
it.
come on over, I got some really
It's
good
the good China.
champagne.
I have a little audio clip of you later on talking about that. No, it wasn't that. It was just the,
But yeah, you kept doing that too.
yeah.
Well, no, because people and everybody brings over their own
Yeah.
champagne. But you just got to stay on your shelf. What
Sure.
you brought, you drink.
Yep.
The stuff on top is from because when someone says I don't really like champagne, then stay away from
Then
the good
don't
stuff.
drink the good
yeah,
stuff.
please.
Yeah.
Don't
Right.
waste. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
don't waste
you were
it.
coming over. You're like, here, have some of this, and I'm like, no.
No,
because
there
it
couldn't have
was
been much because there was only one bottle of good champagne
Whatever,
open.
whatever you
For a
opened.
while, I thought you were Mama Cass handing out pills in a room because you were walking around
Yeah.
at one point just saying, what are you drinking? What are you drinking? You got filler, bubbly, filler.
Yeah.
It was just cracking me the fuck up.
And
I
then
was
my
trashed.
favorite.
I was
Just with the
absolutely
mostest.
trashed.
Am I drinking wine or champagne? I don't know anymore.
I honestly didn't. And so I went around when I woke up in the pool of sick. I'm not even lying. I had to inventory, and I'm like, okay, I tasted the mudslides once. I had a little taste to make sure they were okay because they're way too sweet for
Nobody
me. They're like
rolled
that
you
chocolate
over?
wine. Yeah, people moved me all
Oh,
over the
okay,
place.
good.
No,
Yeah.
no.
But the bottle of
One
vodka
person
wasn't
did.
opened. All the good champagne was still intact, and I'm like, well, what could I possibly have drank that much of? And I'm like, oh, the whole second shelf of shitty champagne is gone.
Right, that's what you did.
No.
Oh yeah,
That's
French
a
wine
bad
and
sign.
shitty shit. But it was a lovely time, and I remember laughing and probably screaming, and then I remember vomiting. But the Ruthie rule is you just go in and you put your face on the cool porcelain, and we had
Feels so
carpeting,
good.
so.
Yeah.
I didn't have to put and the toilet was clean. Thank God I'd cleaned.
Yeah.
But on the
Thank
cool,
God.
my house is all tile.
Lovely.
Cool floor.
Sure. You can't beat it.
No, and I got a good night's sleep. That's the best part. Usually
Right.
when I drink, I can't sleep. Oh, I got a lot.
Oh,
I had to wake
you
up
were
to like
out.
8
Yeah.
o'clock. Delightful. But it was fun. And then back to work.
It was a good time had by all, I'm
It
sure.
really was.
Clayton.
whether you remember it or not.
Clayton.
Yes.
Oh, and thank you all for cleaning up.
that was
You
fun.
did a bang
Again.
up job.
Oh,
We
those are good
we
friends.
did a good job. I think. I hope your dishwasher works as well.
Yes, oh, it's
good. 'Cause
perfect.
we loaded that son of a bitch up, and
Yep.
Marnie's mom and I were
Yep.
doing that. Yeah,
Yep.
because
That was very
I was
kind of
trying,
both
to,
of
I
you.
was trying to figure out with Katy getting home and just trying to keep everything in the living room in order.
I never have any issue with cleaning anything up because I know I don't cook and I don't contribute to that side of it, and that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
So I have no issue whatsoever washing, scraping, keeping clean,
And I'm a clean as you go kind of cook. But there's
Sure.
still just that last
Yeah.
little remnants
Oh
left.
well, no.
Yeah, no.
When you had every bowl that you owned full
Right,
of something
all
on
the
your
serving
dining table,
dishes,
all
yeah.
of that had to be put away.
Yeah, that was, and really the only mess was there was a little spill, and I'll just blame me because it was by where I was sitting. There was a tiny little spill of something sticky
on the coffee table, on your end table.
next to the coffee table, and that was
Yeah.
it. Like that was the
Oh.
only mess. It took like one towel
Sure.
for 2 seconds. I'm like, these were some tiny motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Do you still have food in your fridge?
Oh, tons of it. Are you
Oh,
kidding
good,
me?
because I'm coming over later the week.
Yeah.
Because I know all that dip you made. I only had a little
God,
bit.
that
The
was
fun.
so
the,
good.
what do you call it? The fun, not fondue. Fun.
That might be the one that he maybe doesn't want to have some of. I'm not sure.
Oh, no,
No,
I
I did.
do.
Oh, I ate that for breakfast this morning.
Okay,
That's
good.
delicious.
Okay.
What do you
the
call
the
that?
wing dip
no,
and then
no,
the crack dip.
No, the dip
Oh,
that I
the
like.
spinach
Yeah.
out of
You
the,
call
like,
it fondue, fun something. You've always called it something.
Oh, it's the case, the salsa case. I don't know. I usually call it the crack dip.
You call it. Oh, it seemed like previous years you called it fun something. I don't remember, but I love it. But I only had one little bowl of it.
When that brain cell comes back to life, I'll tell you. It's right over here.
Stroke, you'll never win. Yes. But well, for the, obviously departing your lovely abode on Sunday night, I will leave there. And Buddy even told me when he left, he goes, "I'll see you at Charlie's." I'm like, "Sure." No. I went home and I'm like, I am so exhausted. So I literally
You looked like you were.
I watched something I rarely do. I actually turned on my TV and watched something, and then I was like, I'm done. I went to bed and I slept really well. Got up and did a whole bunch of stuff yesterday and ran right into today. Obviously, last night did my Apollos thing, which I do every Monday with Drag Race and that. And then today was just, again, it's the, okay, here's what I've got to accomplish, and then here's all the other shit that's going to come in and screw up my day.
Now, there's something online that Dion posted today of a match game from RuPaul.
They call it Snatch Game, but it's a takeoff on the old Match Game.
Was that from this week? or
That was last night, yes.
That was last night?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
It was.
I'll bring that up in my
Okay.
entertainment section.
Oh.
Again, the brain cell back here. Wow. The word entertainment.
My heavens.
Fundito dip. That is what I call it.
Fundito. That's it.
Queso fundito.
I knew there was. It was so funny because and it's good. It's like crack. It really is. Okay, 7:28. It's a Tuesday night. We thank you for being. There you go. Mark Martinez added that. Thank you, Mark. My heavens! I think my mom is having video trouble. My mom is having Joe is actually in the chat room facilitating tech support for other.
Well, that's very
viewers.
kind. But
Thank you,
Tyler's
Joe.
having no problem in Tennessee.
Well, that's good. We like to know that
Well, you have to be more than 5 miles away, apparently.
to be good.
Then we have
You
a
can't
good
be within
stream.
Central Phoenix. It's sort of like
That's
the
right.
blackout rule for the NFL. If you live in the city, you can't watch the game. You have to go to the game. All right, it is almost 7:30 on a Tuesday night. You're listening to the show on QTalk America. I'm Clayton McKee along with Al Perkins, Marnie Meyer, and tonight our special in-studio guest, Molly Montgomery. And we'll be back right after this.
30 seconds of jelly jiggling fun. This is your 30-second dance break.
And now a special offer from your friends at QTalk America and TLAgay.com. Did you know that TLAgay.com is one of the world's largest online and mail-order retailers, offering the very best in gay entertainment? From gay-themed movies and adult entertainment on DVD, as well as video on demand, they also have literature, ebooks, and yes, even toys. TLAgay.com provides services to hundreds of thousands of customers worldwide. And right now, their current bestseller is an exclusive DVD called Global Warming. It contains 2 award-winning short films from gay writer-director Reed Waterer. You can only find this at TLAgay.com. And right now, through the end of February, if you go to the website, TLAgay.com/QTalk, and do your shopping from all the products and services that they have to offer, you can use the coupon code QTalk at your checkout and receive 10% off of your order. And that's in addition to any other discounts that they're currently offering. It's a great deal from your friends at QTalk America and TLAgay.com, which, by the way, is a gay-owned and operated company that's been around since the 90s. And QTalk America is proud to promote this out and proud company. Once again, I like it when I fuck up my own stuff like that. It happens all the goddamn time. Here we go with some headlines on a Tuesday night. As soon as I get some of these technical things worked out, we'll have a real live show. Not everyone who passed away was honored in the Oscars Memoriam segment this year. 3 years later, a lost wallet and the cash are returned to the rightful owner. A man finds Jesus and gives a whole new meaning to holy shit. A flaming bag of dog crap starts a fire. A go-go boy holds off an axe-wielding attacker. And after getting the description of a burglar, police were quickly able to put together their case.
Oh, no.
Oh, how in the hell does this happen? No, I don't know, Al. I was going to do this in headlines, but I didn't know if you were actually going to bring it up in reference to the memoriam segment. If not, I
go.
I will. Go. Okay. It happens every year. A beloved celebrity gets left out of the annual Oscars in memoriam segment. So who ended up getting snubbed this year? Well, a couple of people, it seems. Andy Griffith, who was the most noticeable star, not on the list. The actor who passed away last July rose to prominence in his role in the movie A Face in the Crowd from the 1950s.
And please rent that movie. A fantastic
I've actually never
movie.
seen it, but it looks... Yeah.
It's kind of like Kim Kardashian in the 50s, like somebody who just becomes famous for no reason, and it's just spectacular.
Ah, gotcha. Also, actor Alex, is it Karras? How do you pronounce Karras? Okay. Also missed out of the memorial tribute. Karras also starred in such films as Blazing Saddles and Buffalo 66.
He was the dad in Webster.
He also was that too, right?
Yeah.
Another omission was Richard Dawson, who appeared in a movie called The Running Man. These three did get honored, however, on the Academy's website in a gallery paying tribute to those we lost this past year. Granted, there were even more snubs on there, such as actress Phyllis Diller. Also, Sherman Hemsley was also cut from it. As we learned earlier this month, the In Memoriam segment is more difficult to get into than you would think. The families of deceased actors and celebrities having to campaign to get included. And I wanted to ask you about that.
The Academy membership is well, it's only like 6,000 people, but they want to make sure that they do a nice balance of talent
and tech.
In tech, behind the camera, like the production designers, all those people. They don't want it to just be honoring actors. So some of them, everybody was offended by like the no Farrah Fawcett, who it turns out was a member of the Academy. But really, does anybody, except for Extremities, are you really remembering her for?
She would be more of an Emmys,
right
for television.
There's a better place for her. But what shocked me was, the old guy. Oh my Jesus!
Ernest Borgnine?
No,
he was the
first one you said. The very first one you said. Andy Griffith. Just because A Face in the Crowd is such a classic movie, like, I mean, he is more known for television, and I could see where they might bump him, but that movie is so, I mean, that's really up there in like one of the top movies of all time.
I thought Larry Hagman was
that's
interesting
another one
for him not being in there.
Yeah.
But again
more known for Dallas.
I honestly couldn't name a movie he was in.
Okay.
I couldn't either. I thought of the same thing. I couldn't name a movie he was in either.
Richard Dawson, I would have spent a long time coming. I've seen The Running Man, but it would have taken me a long time to come up with.
Yeah, because he's more Family Feud and Hogan's Heroes.
Hogan's Heroes, right.
Obviously.
Well, and if you're going to have a hard line, draw a hard line. Say you either have to have been nominated or won to make it to the In Memoriam, either do that across the board or not, because then how do you pick and choose?
Right, because there's so many people that are actually involved in that industry. My God, the segment could be the 3 hours of the show.
And it honestly could, to get that right balance of stuff.
But apparently they were also honored in a, because obviously, if you don't know this, they have, leading up to the actual telecast, they have other award ceremonies for technical and the science and all the other things, and they apparently were shown or made tribute there.
Right, their version of the Schmemmies are the week before, where they send, and we love it, they send the hot actress for all the nerds to masturbate over. This year it was Zoe Saldana. That
I thought it was the other one.
It could be. What's our other guess?
Salma Hayek.
Oh, yeah, I'm not sure which one. It was one or the other. Because, no, they both had little segments. They came out and
Salma Hayek on this year came out and introduced the segment. But I don't know that she was there. I think Al's right on who was actually there at the previous. She came out and introduced the segment about there was a
because
previous,
I thought she was the one that did that.
No, I don't think she was.
Yeah, and I think it was Zoe Saldana just because, I mean, she's Avatar. Like, she's kind of like the geek dream of
Oh, sure. Yeah.
I'm just going with what they're jerking off to. That's all I got. That's all I got. But the other thing is, in the Barbara Streisand part, which was lovely, and she sounded fantastic.
Was she 76? Four?
No, she's 70.
Dead air.
71. She's born in 42, so do the math. So she'll be 71 this year.
Okay.
Yeah, born in 42. April 24th-ish.
I thought I looked that up the other night.
She looked good, sounded good, and then Shirley Bassey sounded better than all of them. I'm sorry, but Shirley
she really
Bassey
did.
Blew 'em all
stole
away.
that shit.
Yeah.
But I thought if there was
And
all
she's
that
like
time,
171.
No, 76, I think.
Yeah, 76.
Right, only because I agree with you. I thought way older, and then
Yeah.
And I do
believe
remember the
Buddy looked it
conversation
up.
about her. She's
Yeah,
Welsh with
76.
Nigerian streams flowing through her.
Wow.
Oh fuck! I don't know fucking know.
Brain cells.
But so this one back here. So Barbara Streisand sang "The Way We Were." It was lovely. And Marvin Hamlish, yes, he won 3 Oscars in 1 year. It was a big deal. Liza Minnelli was his date. You didn't need to spend the entire song
Sure.
with a picture of Marvin Hamlish up there.
Right.
True.
There was plenty of time
Right.
to put anybody you wanted to during a 3-minute song.
Right, she could have started with him and they could have moved on
And they
with
could have
others.
moved on. They did
Certainly.
linger a little long on.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
You
true.
know.
Valid point all around.
Yeah, because most points that he wins for The Way We Were, he loses for A Chorus Line the movie, which is the worst thing that's ever happened to cinema.
Agreed.
I'm sure we're going to have a lot more about the Oscars coming up in entertainment and hour 2. Dateline Lawrence, Kansas. Lawrence police say they arrested a 31-year-old man after 2 connected and strange crimes caught their attention. Sergeant Trent McKinley says the caper began Sunday evening. Obviously, he wasn't watching the Oscars. When someone entered a mobile home in Lawrence, Kansas and made off with a Japanese-style sword, a blind black cat, and some Chinese meditation balls, among other things. Police were called later when residents at a nearby home reported they fled their home when a man wearing no shirt or shoes but wearing a sword on his waist, carrying a cat and meditation balls, entered their home
Meditation
and
balls.
oddly began eating their food. The balls, the sword, and the cat named Freddie were returned to their owners. Police quickly put it together and figured out it was the same guy. Prosecutors told the Lawrence Journal-World that Blake Robert Hurd was charged with 4 counts. It wasn't immediately clear if he had an attorney. But I think that's funny. Somebody calls in and says, well, these things were stolen from me. And another guy calls in and says, some guy just walked into my house with these 3 things.
Let's put 2 and 2 together.
What the fuck would you do if somebody barged into your house with no shirt or shoes, wearing a sword and carrying a cat?
Well, if you're-
Breaking news.
Yeah,
if you're Oscar Pistorius,
The City of Phoenix ordinance to include LGBT folks and folks with disabilities in their non-discrimination policy has passed 5-3.
Oh,
Nice.
so we
Fair.
are good.
And the exciting part is, why did it
exciting.
take this long to
Good.
get handicapped people? What was the issue with...
That's been my thing this whole time. Seriously, you're not going to include disabled people this whole time?
Now, did somebody stand up with their Bible and say that, God
Probably.
hates just disabled people? Something about the audio is muted?
I've already fixed it.
Okay.
yeah, that's just.
And
whatever.
I just read that an Arizona bill allowing selected teachers to carry concealed gun gets
Yeah.
okay.
Jesus Christ.
1 step forward, 3 steps back.
The school would have to be relatively small, far from a police facility, and not have a campus officer. What the
What?
fuck?
Jesus.
I don't know.
Lots
Go.
going on.
That's a stupid.
So we're
as
adding
shit.
headlines to
Please.
your headlines,
Yes.
but
Please go ahead, sir.
These sub-headlines. Police in central Pennsylvania, Dover specifically, are asking the public's help in figuring out who set fire to a bag of dog crap that triggered a minor blaze. The York Dispatch reported Tuesday that the apparent prank ignited the front door of a home near Dover and caused about $2,000 worth of damages. The
Shitty.
paper says the fire occurred early Saturday and was discovered when the residents awoke to hear their smoke alarms going off and smoke filling their home. The prank normally involves setting a bag of dog poop on fire on the stoop, ringing the doorbell and running in hopes that the person who answers the door will stomp the fire out of the bag of dog shit. In this case, the bag was hung on the doorknob. Apparently there wasn't a playbook going
Yeah.
along with this. Here's how you pull a prank.
these are people that usually stick to cow tipping. We've gone up.
Or snipe hunting.
Yes.
I honestly thought cow tipping was fake.
No.
No.
I thought it was true because I never heard of it till the movie Heathers. and I just thought it was a funny expression.
Now, this story, I have a handout for you all. Now, I want you to, and I don't get this at all, so I'm going to hand this out. You all look at it, and I realize that we have cameras, but they don't need to see it. They can Google it for themselves. Now,
Visual aids.
This is the correct.
Just masturbate. I don't need visual proof that you did it.
This is the correct way to hold it. Okay, that's the right way. An Ohio man who claims to have found Jesus in the form of dog shit on his windshield of his car.
Bird shit.
Bird shit. What did I say? Dog shit. My bad. Sorry. Two stories. One wonderful
Did he
solution.
light it
It
on
was
fire?
probably my dog.
Yeah,
Sorry about
Jim,
that.
I love your dog escaped again. Jim Lowry of Brooklyn, Ohio noticed the divine dropping, which he said looks like regular bird splatter from the outside of the car, but upon entry into the car,
I see it.
it looks like Jesus.
It looks like a dog.
Cross-eyed Jesus.
He says, a bird, quote, a bird pooped on my car windshield, and when I got inside, the view was like Jesus looking down on me. Claiming that it was, quote, it's a perfect portrait, he added, it's just like Jesus staring right at me. Whatever. Do you really see it in that? I don't.
I see a dog.
To me, a dog. Well,
Well, I
okay.
don't see Jesus, but I see a
I see a
face.
dog. I see two eyes.
the folks-
and the dog
He's doing like
nose.
blowjob lips.
When-
Who's the head ape in
I
Planet
thought
of
it was
the Apes?
that. What's the
Caesar?
one? What's the painting? The famous painting
The
where
other
it's
one.
like
I was gonna
That
say
one?
Cornelius. Yeah.
That's what I thought it was.
It's Cornelius from
The
Planet
folks-
of
That's
the
a
Apes.
picture of Jesus
The,
doing that?
the folks over at MSN said that they thought it looked more like a dog wearing a wig.
Exactly.
In an email to ABC News, he said he believes the bird turd is some kind of a sign. Yes, Jim, the sign is wash your car.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
And now he never will.
All right. Well, this is far from the first time that the Christian has spotted their Lord and Savior in a holy figure's unusual places. Last November, hundreds of Catholics flocked to a hospital in Malaysia to bear witness to the miracle stain on the Virgin Mary in an old window. Last July, U.S. Christians descended upon Baton Rouge, Louisiana, to worship a statue of the Virgin Mary that was, they believed, bleeding from its head. Oddly, bird poop was also the likely explanation in that case. And a month earlier in Texas, a family found Jesus in the form of a rank old in their shower scum. Who the hell has shower scum that plentiful?
CLR, people. CL fucking R.
Something. A
But-
chisel.
Just when you thought these cookies were the way to offend Jesus, no, the bird shit
Right.
is the way to go.
So and perhaps the most bizarre.
Don't take my fire. In the boop.
Perhaps the most bizarre form of finding the Son of God has been taken in what we're going to delicately call a pug dog's exit area.
Now I can see that. Absolutely.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
kind of leaves a bad taste in your mouth.
Apparently.
Yes, there's that.
Yeah, right?
Unpleasant, said the New York Times.
Absolutely.
All right. At a local gay bar right here in Phoenix, an axe-wielding loon was subdued thanks to quick acting by a go-go boy and a bartender who was particularly handy with a pool cue. A 40-year-old Lawrence Aguirre got into an argument with his girlfriend while visiting Oz Bar on February 17th, at which point the bar manager, Adrian Maldonado, who I know, cut him off and escorted him out, saying that he had had too much to drink. Maldonado remained inside holding the door shut when Aguirre went all shining on his ass and hit the door with an axe, trying to cut through it. Once he thought Aguirre had left, Maldonado opened the door, but the Axeman came running in, threatening to kill him. That's when a go-go boy called Pretty Boy, B-O-I, grabbed Aguirre around the neck from behind. Maldonado hit him over the head with a pool cue. Aguirre dropped the axe, and the four patrons helped hold him down until police arrived. Aguirre now faces 2 counts of aggravated assault and 1 count of criminal damage. The police report noted slash marks on the door, so he did attack the door. The attacker also used homophobic slurs when describing to police how he was assaulted at the bar, prompting a biased crimes unit to review the case. Meanwhile, someone should stuff down the hero's shorts a $20 just in appreciation. That'd be my
I'll
guess.
go there.
But yeah. He was in there, got cut off, said he'd had too much, escorted him out. Do you just carry an axe around in your car?
Yeah, what? That part I'm not understanding.
The funny part to me was
At all.
that this story was actually Channel 12 did it, and the reporter went to the bar, did a live shot from the bar, and in the footage, she's holding an axe at the door. It cracked me up. It was really funny. So if you want to go to azcentral.com.
Went all shining on his ass.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I did not.
Here's Johnny.
I didn't write that. I won't take credit for writing that copy. But it was somebody at Channel 12 did. All right,
That's
finally
fantastic.
in our headline segment, Milford, Delaware, Harold Walls lost his wallet with $800 in cash inside it over 3 years ago. He was sure it was gone for good, and he assumed that he had lost it on the job as a trash collector. But when he came to work earlier this month, his supervisor said, "I have something that I think belongs to you." And there it was, the missing wallet and the $800 in cash.
Wow.
Mr. Walls is a trash thrower, is what they call it. He's the guy hanging off the back of a trash truck throwing bags of trash into it. At the end of his shift over 3 years ago, Walls and his work partner searched everywhere, even retracing the entire route looking for it. He had all that money set aside to buy a brand new flat screen TV, which I'm sure Al would appreciate as a thoughtful purchase. Of course, the assumption was that someone else had found the wallet, kept the cash, and ditched the rest. Well, as cities do from time to time, they want to sell off the old things that they're not using, as opposed to me, who fixes them all and holds on to them forever in hopes that someday somebody will need it or I can use it. Well, last year, the city of Milford decided to retire that particular trash truck and sold it at auction. A farmer in Maine bought the truck, and as he was cleaning the truck out, found, as he disassembled the bench seat in the cab of the truck, the wallet stuck way, way in the back, all the cash still inside. I don't know what a farmer from Maine needs a trash truck for, but for some reason he did. The farmer mailed it back to the sanitation department with everything intact as it was the day it was missing. They have never learned the name of the farmer, but would like to thank him. He said he was really surprised, the owner of the wallet said he was really surprised that it came back with everything, and it happens to restore to him faith in people.
That's fantastic. I like that.
I thought that was pretty
There was
cool.
a homeless gentleman, from what I understood, that
About
found
the ring.
diamond ring.
Found
yeah.
the ring.
Yeah.
Woman accidentally dropped it in his little, what do you call that little can that he's looking for money?
Yeah.
She had dropped change in it and her ring fell off.
Okay.
Or something to that
Yeah.
effect. He found the ring, returned it, and now he's been given like $135,000.
Yeah,
they
people have been
set
raising
something
money
up,
for
I
him.
thought.
Yeah, that was very nice.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Very nice for him.
It's good
So
to
see
do
if you
good
do
things, you sons of
if you
bitches.
do good things.
Yeah.
There's that.
And it could be Christ.
Good,
Oh, wait,
well,
that was
Just
very
don't
pro-
adopt a dog.
I'm gonna have to have some other your entertainment cookies, your Catholic cookies here in a minute.
Oh yeah.
You should put this recipe on the web. That is
Okay.
Delightful, you think? Al?
delightful.
I have
What?
have it right here.
I like that we're all on some kind of brain fart delay.
I'm like,
I
Somehow.
have it.
Well, no, because I have
Right
it. I
here.
have two of them. I have two
Delay.
of them.
Wait
and I
for
was
it.
trying-
Wait for it. Wait
It
for it.
was.
I have two
So
of them, and I was trying to figure out
poisoning.
which one I used.
I'm gonna have to have some more of those in a minute, but at this time, I think we're gonna kick off. Well, if I don't fuck this up, but I've done everything else. So let's see if we can get to our entertainment segment with Al Perkins.
We're going to start with a couple movie reviews. I give out my annual Courage Under Fire award. It is an annual award.
Okay, good. We've just never done it on this show.
We have trivia from the Oscars. And that's about it.
That's
How long we got? 13 minutes?
you got plenty of time.
Yeah.
That's it, Al.
Yeah, we're going to get
There's
a lot
so
out of
much
this.
more
There-
from
yeah,
entertainment.
I know.
Yes.
I mean, this is not just what happened in my living room.
Oh.
Now it makes sense. Okay, so every year I call it the Courage Under Fire Award, because Courage Under Fire, in case you've never seen it, with Meg Ryan, Denzel Washington, one of Matt Damon's earliest roles.
Where he lost like 1 million pounds and
Yep.
weighed 4.
And he was dating Lou Diamond Phillips in a spectacular performance in that role. So I give it out every year.
Who was
What?
dating?
Who was dating
No,
Lou Diamond Phillips?
I mixed him up with Benjamin Bratt for a second. I had the
Got
visual
it.
in my head, and I put him
Got
with
it.
Julia Roberts,
Yeah.
and then I had to take him back.
I thought, well, wait a minute.
Oh, Molly locked herself out of the studio.
Oh, how fun.
Would you
Oh.
turn around and let Molly in?
Absolutely.
My
So,
God.
anyways, this Courage Under Fire, and it's a movie, like, I think if you know your Oscars, Courage Under Fire, like, easy, without thinking about it, should have had at least 7 nominations for in the Oscars that year, and it got none. So every year I do my Courage Under Fire award, and
Meg Ryan.
Meg Ryan for supporting actress that year. I thought either Matt Damon or Lou Diamond Phillips for best supporting actor, and that is the movie that explains sound effects editing to anyone who's never seen it, because there is such a distinction between the guns as everyone tells their story. It's kind of a take on Ran, the Japanese movie where you see the story told from 6 different perspectives. Everyone comes in and tells their story of what happened.
Oh.
And it changes over and over again, and you get the little details. But what kind of gun is fired makes a big difference. What kind of gun they hear. So it's very clear that by the end of it, you start to know the difference because you've heard the story so many times from so many different points of view. Excellent movie. So that's named, the award is named in that's honor. And I would give it to End of Watch this year with Jake Gyllenhaal and Michael Pena, who I thought should have had a supporting actor nomination, and a couple different ones there, and then Pitch Perfect, which I thought was the comedy that for some reason just no one paid attention to it, and it made good money. It's very funny. It kind of turns Glee on its ear. Those were 2 of my favorites from this year that I really thought were not just good movies, but could have competed in different years.
So that's interesting. I saw Pitch Perfect, which normally I look at you like, what? I thought, no, I mean, it was okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't anything spectacular, and I remember you having talked about it, and I thought, I'm going to love this. And there were aspects of it.
But from that Bridesmaids hangover, like the comedy that does good, and it's got some fun parts to it, and I thought there was...
I thought the guy...
Fat Amy was just as funny as Melissa McCarthy was in Bridesmaids.
No, not even close.
Oh, I do.
God in heaven, no. I would disagree vehemently.
I think she was as funny as she was in Bridesmaids.
I would agree.
Yeah. She is very funny.
I would agree with that. The young guy who played the other DJ sorting CDs.
Oh, yeah.
I thought his part was written really well.
And the guy from Workaholics, the fact that guy from Workaholics, the short guy, I don't know if you watch Workaholics, the short guy on there that's the muscle builder that's never been laid on Workaholics. Not only was he here 2 weekends ago at the stand-up, and he does stand-up, and I guess he's really popular, but he sings, and he's the boys' a cappella leader.
Oh, yeah. That kind of a douchebag.
He always plays a douchebag. Okay. So funny.
God, he was annoying.
So
that's great.
The whole thing this year about Best Director and Best Picture going together, and the snub for Ben Affleck being such a big deal. We've now had, I think there's been 5 times in the last 10 years director and picture have not gone together. You have Traffic and Gladiator. You have Saving Private Ryan and Shakespeare in Love. You have Brokeback Mountain and Crash. You have Life of Pi now with Argo. So it keeps happening. So this thing that they have to go together. But the funny thing is, Ang Lee winning Best Director. He's now won Best Director twice in the last 7 years, but has not won Best Picture.
Right.
Just the fact that
I didn't think either of them were... Well, I shouldn't say either of them because I didn't see Life of Pi, but I didn't think Brokeback Mountain should have won Best Picture.
Oh my God, over Crash? Oh, hell yes.
Wait a minute. The Sandra Bullock Crash?
Yes.
Yeah.
That won that year?
Yes. Over Brokeback Mountain. Yeah.
Okay, then no.
Yeah,
and I'll be honest with you, I loved the movie Crash.
Oh, I did too.
I hated it.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember you saying that.
Remember? Because I was like, don't spoon feed me why I shouldn't be racist.
And that's what
you
Harrison
kidding?
always says about Traffic. She thought Traffic was just stupid that they made such a big deal about the drug wars. But there's so many people that don't understand the pointlessness of the drug wars. Yeah.
Okay.
Michael Douglas, Kathleen Zeta-Jones.
That was good. Yeah.
So I just thought that was interesting that Ang Lee now has the distinction of having two best director wins and just can't win a fucking Best Picture.
No. It's coming just this close.
And Steven Spielberg, the Academy really does not like him. We just have to say it. He's got 2 wins, but only 1 Best Picture in all these years, and tons of snubs. I mean, he's more famous for his snubs. So
they're listening to you.
They're listening, yeah. So clearly the industry is not as big a fan as America is. Daniel Day-Lewis is now the first actor with 3 leads. Katharine Hepburn has 4 for the women, but that's a big...
He was very funny.
Found out this week that Katharine Hepburn only attended the awards once and in her gardening clothes.
Yes, and it was to honor someone else. She never accepted an award on her own, and I can't remember who she stepped out and they almost shit their pants.
Yeah.
She walks out on stage and she's like, "I know what you're thinking. Now you show up."
Right. Yeah.
Right.
But even back in the 30s, as a young ingenue, she didn't show up, and then she just kept that tradition alive.
There was something just before I saw a. And I wished I could have recorded it for you. Katie Couric on ABC did a set. Yeah, that's it. I saw the same thing. Katie Couric did a thing on was it Friday night or Saturday night? I think it was.
It was Friday because it was.
I'm sorry,
2020.
It was Friday 2020. It was an hour-long show about things about the Academy Awards. It was a great show. But you're right, where they showed her and they zoomed in on the fact that she had just her gardening sandals on.
She was not fancy.
Fantastic. Yeah. I love that.
No, she was in like a linen cropped pant. And a linen gardening jacket.
Yep,
lack
she
of
was
a
she
better
was
term.
her own lady, and just you got out of her what you got out of her.
But what I would encourage you to do, just because I think you would enjoy it, if on their, it's probably on the ABC's website.
Oh, yeah, 2020 episodes. I was
You can
there.
probably watch it. It was really a great special, an hour special.
And
that
I
you can
filled out
watch.
a whole survey from ABC.com because they know me so well. Now there was
Shocker.
something I was screaming during the party that turns out was not quite true. I'm sober. No, Skyfall won the first. I thought Skyfall was the first James Bond movie to ever win 2 Oscars, but they did win special effects Oscars in '64 and '65. One was for sound, one was for special effects. It was Thunderball, and I can't remember what the other one was. But Skyfall was not the very first James Bond movie to win, but it was the first win in 48 years. But
You were so animate about that.
You
they
really
had never
were.
won Best Song. They had never won a Best Song or Best
Right.
Score. That was
Right.
it's never been
And
honored
that's
by
just
the
weird.
Academy.
I mean,
it
Live
is,
and
but-
Let Die, and,
most of the
Nobody Does
time-
It Better.
Nobody Does It Better was nominated, but
Yeah.
luckily lost to Last Dance, so can't really get real bitchy about that one. Although, strangely enough, that's Hopelessly Devoted to You, which I love. There's so many greats. That's like the greatest
Yeah.
year for Oscar songs,
Yeah.
and that's the year that I had the flu and was throwing up into a bucket. Another year of vomiting. But that one was food-related.
What movie is Last Dance from?
Thank God It's Friday. Worst movie to ever have an Academy Award.
no idea.
Worst ever.
That's a great trivia question.
Friday.
And then for just a brief movie review, I finally saw Amour. She did not deserve to be nominated for Best Actress. She was a supporting role at best, but what a beautifully done movie. And of course, you see
It
it in,
looked like it was.
Yeah, see it in Scottsdale at Harkins 5, where they know their movies. So you got to ask, am I seeing Terminator 4? Like, why is this movie theater packed?
Yeah.
Like standing room only the night before the Oscars, and 2 cinemas playing quartet. I mean, these people know their movies. They show up.
Yeah.
You can't just sneak in there and think, no one's heard of this movie, I'm going to go see
Right.
it. No. I got there like old lady time early. Beautifully done. And the guy that plays the husband, I have no idea why he's not getting mentioned. It's his movie.
Yeah, that's what you were saying.
It is a beautiful performance by this man who I've never heard of. Absolutely gorgeous. And the daughter is spectacular. And Emmanuelle Riva is very good. Like, she's very good, but she's not. It's about her, but she doesn't
She's
do
not
much
prominent.
acting.
Yeah, she's not prominent.
she's not a big role. But oh my God, such a beautiful movie.
Okay, did you bawl through it? Because it looks like
That's
something
why-
I'm
yeah,
gonna
I
bawl
did
through.
That's
not.
why I'm in no place to
and you
see
know
it
me,
right
I,
now.
And you know me,
Yeah.
I cry through everything. I did not.
Yeah.
I thought it was so brutally like just here it is. There was no. It wasn't Steven Spielberg. There was almost no music.
Oh,
so
okay.
aside from
That's
the fact
helpful.
that she's a piano teacher, you hear the music that one of her pupils plays. And then you hear the piece again later. But as people were walking out, everyone was commenting like, "I've never seen a movie with no score." So no one was manipulating you.
Sure.
They're not doing
Wasn't
that John
treacly,
Williams
sentimental,
Oh my God, that's why I
right.
fucking hates
Yeah, yeah.
John Williams. So they didn't pound it into your head. It was all just stark, straight on camera work. Nothing manipulative. Very little makeup. Everyone was just realistic. The apartment everything just looked so real.
Yeah.
And it was just such a real struggle of just getting old. And it just an honest portrayal. I didn't think it was. I'm sure people were sniffling and crying, but I didn't think it was particularly sad. A lot of little moments of superstition, European superstition, that the lady next to me, because we were both alone, she's like, "Do you know what birds mean coming into a house?" I'm like, "Yeah, I caught that." And she was like, "And so you got all that stuff with the birds?" I'm like, "It was beautifully done. Beautiful, beautiful movie."
You want to share
it
that?
did, yeah, it
you want to
looked
share
like-
that with the rest of us? What do birds mean coming into the house?
If a bird flies
Jesus is
into-
going to appear in bird shit somewhere?
No, but if a bird flies into your house, it usually means someone's going to die.
Oh.
There will be
Wow.
there'll be a death in your family.
What if they're brought in the mouth of a cat? Because I get that occasionally.
Then your cat is trying to offer you some kind of tribute.
Okay.
That has no significance.
I know if there was
Okay.
some.
But a bird in the house usually means someone in. That's an old. It's an
Oh,
old.
never heard that.
I'd only heard of it from Polish people. And the other thing is, shoes on a table is another
Oh, yeah.
Polish
That's
superstition.
Polish
You
bad luck.
never.
I've
put-
heard that before.
Never put shoes on a table.
I've heard
But
that.
What happens?
That's the
Because
only
I do it all the
superstition that
time.
I always stick to.
Mom, if you're still listening, I would like you to try and remember if the bird flew into the house through the chimney right before or right after Grandma died. Text me. Let me know. What you
And
think.
when
And
they-
where
when
was
they
Grandma's
leave-
shoes?
Right?
And if a bird,
That's
when
what
a
it
bird
was,
flies out of your
right.
house, it's you're supposed to let them free because it lets the spirit out.
Right.
Got it.
Oh, I get goosebumps.
Oh, she got goosebumps.
And then The Imposter, which I'm 99% sure I meant to go to IMDb and check the name of that. Buddy had talked about it this summer about the kid that was missing in the South who disappeared and no one really talked about it. It didn't get a lot of attention. Kind of a white trash family. And then 3 years later, this kid in Spain said he was him, and they brought him back. And even though he speaks with an accent, he's got different color eyes.
They bought it.
Yeah.
Look, they bought it, like hook, line, and sinker.
That's the whole changeling premise.
Yeah.
Oh my God, but it's a true story. And you meet, everybody is there to be interviewed except for one brother who's no longer with us.
Didn't that just happen in like Mississippi a couple years ago?
That's what he's talking
Right,
about.
that's what we're talking about.
Oh, I didn't know about Spain.
No, that's where the kid was found. That's where this kid was found, and they bring him back. Crazy. And it's another one of those documentaries. It doesn't solve anything, so you're just kind of like, what the fuck did I watch it for? But it's really good.
What's it called?
The Imposter. But I'll IMDb in case I have the wrong name.
We will continue with a little more of Al's entertainment segment because there's apparently way too much to contain into one small 13-minute segment. We have hour 2 coming up. Don't forget hour 3 follows that because they just always seem to go up one. I don't know why. It's the show. My name is Clayton McKee. It's QTalk America. It's a Tuesday night. You're in the studio with Marnie, Al, and our guest tonight is Molly Montgomery. We hope you're having a good Tuesday evening after suffering through the Oscars like the rest of us did. We are going to talk a lot more about that. Plus the drinking games coming up moments from now. Thoughtful vulgarities in hour 3. Stick with us, won't you? Because, well, what the hell else do you have to do on a Tuesday night? We'll be right back after this.
You've been listening to the show on QTalk America. This is QTalk America.
The following broadcast contains adult humor, language, and topics, along with partial nudity. Actual knowledge is used sparingly. The show is a result of a lost bet and a bad game of rock, paper, scissors. It's the show with Clayton McKee. And now, a man with a face for radio, Clayton McKee.
Thank you. We are back. It's hour 2. It's the show on QTalk America. My name is Clayton McKee. Thank you for being with us. I'm with Al, Marnie, and Molly on this Tuesday night. We were in the middle of Al's entertainment segment, and I'm pretty sure you've got some wrong button. But more things that you want to add to that. You were talking about the movie called, what was it again?
And it is called The Imposter. I just checked.
Pardon me.
A fascinating documentary, but I keep saying that, like How to Survive a Plague, The Invisible War. There's no end to these movies. They're just kind of shining a light, and that's why I think like Searching for Sugar Man, which kind of has a resolution, and you get kind of a feel-good thing. The rest of them kind of leave you with like, oh, that happened. Right. You know what I mean? And like so there's kind of this finessing art to how these documentaries go and how you leave. And I just have to, and I will stand up to this anytime you want me to. John Williams did beautiful work for the Olympics. We've all given him mad props. I think he is probably one of the worst movie composers ever. Like Raiders of the Lost Ark, spectacular, knocked it out of the park. Yeah, and I think he did Star Wars. I'm just gonna check and see. He did Jaws, which of course that dun 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 dun. I mean,
but did he do
Superman?
Silverado as well?
Oh my God, now I remember that. That annoyed the shit out of me. Silver fucking Rado.
That's right.
He did Close Encounters of the Third Kind, one of the best. I mean, great score for, the music cue to get you in and out of how they communicate. I gotcha. But then he did E.T., and that movie is when I started hating both of them. Like, stop beating me over the head. I will figure out when to cry without you. Right. Like, I just wanted to walk out of E.T. and I felt like I was like gang raped by John Williams and Steven Spielberg.
Oh.
Annoys the shit out of me. Hook, awful. He's so manipulative.
Superman was good though. I mean, when you hear the dun 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 dun, right,
oh yeah, when you're doing like action, adventure, and fun, he's good.
Yeah.
When you're trying to do a serious movie, and like the Steven Spielberg, The Color Purple, I love that movie, but I hate that movie because I feel like somebody is banging me over the head to tell me this part's sad.
Right.
This part's sad. If I don't show you a black girl screaming and crying, you'll never know this is a sad part of this movie.
Right.
Just awful directing. Yeah. Awful directing, and then John Williams is just an enabler. So
fair enough.
Yeah. I will stand by that one.
Without dun We never
Right, but
know
that's-
that a shark
Come
was
on,
coming.
that defined
Right,
it.
but that defined it because
Yeah.
the
I'm just
shark didn't
fucking
work.
with
Right.
That's all the tricks that they had to use because there was no shark in that movie. So brilliantly used.
Right.
But then
There.
they kept doing it. We see the puppet. E.T.'s here. He's
Yeah.
in every fucking scene.
Right.
Put the Reese's Pieces down and leave me alone. So, but I do have to say for Lincoln, honestly, that was one of his least offense. That was like one of the times that I thought he backed off. The cinematographer that annoys the shit out of me that they always work with, he filled in all the gaps that John Williams wasn't doing. He came right in. Like everything has to take place at sunset in sepia tones, and everybody's, you know what I mean? Shut the fuck up.
You know, if I had unlimited money, there's a couple things I would do.
See all
One,
these movies.
No.
Fix everyone's teeth.
Oh no! The first thing is I'd have a fund that really fixed everybody's teeth. That would be that's my number one. Number two, I would figure out and I would just start our own production company, and I would like to see what Al would put together. What would his masterpiece? He picks the screenplay, he picks the actors, he picks the cinematographer, blah blah blah. My hope is that once he's done with all those things, if I could afford it, and we could go on location to wherever the fuck he wants to go and put it together. The entire Academy Awards the next year better be he wins every goddamn category.
They don't even nominate other movies. They don't care.
No.
And I would so turn into Terrence Malick. I would turn into exactly
Who
the
the
kind
fuck
of,
is that?
The Tree
Seriously.
of Life, and he's the one that makes all those movies that annoy the crap out of me
Pocahontas.
because you're just masturbating. Like it's just so it's
By the way, did you
self-indulgent
see
crap.
what he was doing?
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
shaking his milk.
But
He was shaking his protein shake.
Protein
is what he was
I
doing.
call that
That's what he's doing.
self-indulgent crap when it's just everything that they want to see in a movie just done and it takes 6 hours and they don't have an editor. That's what it would be
That's
if I
kind
made
of
a
how I
movie.
feel about all the movies about the movie industry, though. Like Get Shorty and all. What's the other one that was so annoying?
Well, except Argo.
seriously, just that's not about the movie industry.
It kind of is.
Kind of
Kind of
is.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
A
it
little
kind of
bit.
is.
I mean, it's kind of about
It involves
the
them.
CIA, but
It's not about.
But it's
the
given a
movie
backhanded
industry.
hand job to Hollywood for helping.
Thank
I
you
should
for
have brought him a protein shake.
Something. Yeah.
Because I'm twitching.
I'm
No,
go-
but it really does. I mean, I think that's one of the
last
reasons
week's
why
show.
it won Best Picture is because it's applauding Hollywood for helping, for being.
Oh, sure.
It's kind of the
I
good
can see
guy.
that.
Hollywood's the good guy.
Yeah, I
in
didn't
the
think it
movie.
was the best picture of the year.
No.
No.
I didn't see all of them,
I was
so I
fine
can't say,
with
but
it
I
winning.
really enjoyed it.
As far as Amour, I'm still on the fence. I still go back and forth about whether to see it or not. A few years ago, a family that I grew up with were the focus of a Frontline on PBS because they were friends that I grew up with. Their parents were living in London and went to, please don't botch this, Sweden, I believe, to have an assisted suicide. And so I was so personally involved that the Frontline just wrecked me. So I don't know if a more, because obviously Frontline doesn't have the soundtrack. It doesn't have the, gotcha heartstring
Right.
close-ups or anything. So I don't know. Sometimes I just want to be entertained, you know? And Amour seems so heart-wrenching that I don't know if I can see it.
But it's not about assisted suicide at all.
No, I know.
Yeah, okay.
But I mean, you see her taking care of her husband in his final days, even though they know when his final day would be.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a true love story.
And I don't feel like typing. I would agree that Hollywood Bowl for John Williams would be fun. Like to see the Olympic fanfare, whatever the trumpet that he wrote for the 84 Olympics is brilliant. You play Raiders of the Lost Ark for me anytime you want to.
Mm-hmm.
I am on board. And I love he's got a lot. Just don't put me in a movie with him.
That was one of the things that was on that Oscar special, if I'm not mistaken. They were talking to him, and they showed him, and I don't know if it was the Hollywood Bowl or what it was, but they literally showed the entire audience with like lightsabers, and as they played the theme to Star Wars, they were all just in unison. And he's like, to look out and see all those people doing that to a song that's over 30 years old that I did, and all there for that was such a thing for him. Which I think it's amazing.
Oh,
that's
no,
such an iconic tune.
And he's written the music for some of the most iconic movies. Jaws,
Right.
Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I mean, this is
All 30 years ago,
every
though.
geek's wet dream list of movies. E.T.
I appreciate him every night
Yeah.
because he does the theme to the NBC Nightly News.
Yeah.
I enjoy that.
Yeah, it's just the filmmaking. It's the filmmaking part of it that I think somebody needs to go in and tell them, like, I can think in a movie. I really don't need you to spell it out for me.
Right.
Like, I really can get there. Like Amor, no music.
Right.
And you don't see it coming. Like, when everything happens, you're like, what? Because it's so quiet. Because you're just kind of watching somebody in their apartment. There's no one There's no tight close-ups. There's no, like, gut-wrenching crying.
It's sort of like watching this show on video.
Yeah,
A little bit.
Yeah, so I
Except
really
there is gut-wrenching crying.
I really do. And we
Not from here, but from
actually,
home.
no, we
Right.
talked about it a couple weeks ago about Rachel Weisz in The Deep Blue Sea, which I think is the master class of acting. I just don't think there's a better
Wow.
performance in
Never even heard of it.
it indie film. I think she won the New York Film Critics this year for Best Actress. Spectacular movie, very quietly done. Like it's about depression. It's about a woman in this torrid love affair that she knows is bad for her, and she can't step away. Like, she cannot get away from it. It's a remake of a Vivien Leigh movie from the 50s.
I need some more of those in a minute. Marnie.
From
Yeah,
a
those
very
are
famous.
Anything. I need something down here. I didn't bring.
So
food.
I mean,
We should
it's
eat
just
some of the
funny,
Pope
like
stuff.
when you see the difference. Like, there are these movies where they're so manipulative, and then there's these movies where you just see people acting, and it's just the craft. Like, you don't need to be told anything.
A couple of those snickerdoodles.
The more I
please.
think about Traffic winning Best Picture, the angrier.
Yeah.
No, not Traffic. Crash.
Crash, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially over Brokeback Mountain, which was so. I mean,
What else was that year? Do you
it
remember?
was two quiet guys fucking. I mean, let's not
Well.
make it sound like that was a very exciting movie. But
I can't.
and there's
I can't quit you.
Gus stuff. Oh, I'm gonna fuck up his name, but that is one of the most haunting scores ever written for a movie, and it won the Oscar. And I will go back and find it because go find CDs by this guy. Let me find him.
Those are nice cookies, Marnie.
I'm glad you like them.
My mom's saying she has to log off because the video is still too herky-jerky. What does that mean?
Well, that's a technical term.
Okay, Jesus, my eyes. Gustavo Sandovala is, oh my God, buy his music, buy a CD of his, or just buy the Brokeback Mountain thing. There's one called Snow that is one of the most beautiful pieces of music.
I totally know what you're talking about, too.
Yeah,
Just
gorgeous.
that stark acoustic guitar.
Yep.
Like,
and that's all
the
you need.
Gorgeous
Scenery.
Yep.
And you just see them hugging, and you know they're in love.
Beautiful.
There's that.
And then you can watch it with
My
buddies.
shirt. Exactly.
I kind of don't mind
Just
when
get in
there's.
the tent.
I don't mind when there's all that music and someone leading me somewhere because I'm just at the movies to enjoy them. Like that's all.
Oh, I am too. But
I'm not taking that from you. I'm just saying, like we've talked about that before. You look at them more technically. Like you look into them and you pay attention on stuff. I just do not. Like
Yeah.
I either like it or I don't. It
And I
either
see
made me laugh or it didn't.
don't forget,
Or-
I love Xanadu. Like, I love fucking
love
Xanadu,
Xanadu.
and I'll watch it anytime you want me to.
Drop Dead
Gene
Gorgeous is one of my
Kelly,
favorite movies.
Drop
of
Dead
all
Gorgeous
time.
makes it
Yeah.
like
Stop it.
I love all that stuff. Just play by your own rules.
Sure. And E.T. will always be one of my favorites. But
Yeah.
again,
It's
I don't-
because we were 4 when we saw
right,
it.
absolutely. Well, and
Yeah, and a half.
Carry the
Um,
one. Yeah.
whatever. Right.
I was 1.
And I butt into I just my movie that year because he made one movie as a producer, one as a director, and they made a big deal that summer about his 2 movies coming out that year. The other one was Poltergeist, and I
Oh,
love
sure.
horror.
Yeah, and I
so
love that as well.
I thought Poltergeist was
Yeah.
so much better.
Yeah.
Like it's just I think it's a better movie than
Poltergeist
E.T.
is brilliant.
Yeah, it's
I was
brilliant.
gonna-
Joe
Absolutely,
Beth
I
Williams.
agree.
You can't go wrong.
But
with
I
it.
love horror. Like horror always trumps.
Yeah.
There's that. Okay, we are a little bit after 8 o'clock, hour 2, and now we are going to get ourselves prepared and ready and in line for the drinking game.
And now, a drink along. We dare you to stay awake during this royalty-free music and to play a drinking game with us. If you are currently or soon to be driving a car, you cannot play. If you are presently the primary caregiver for children and or the elderly, you may desperately want to play, but no. If you are listening from a rehab facility, you are disqualified because you already hit bottom. And that means you already won this game at least once. If playing this game is in any way illegal for you, put the bottle down and make better life choices. There is no good in your goodbye, and there is no lifeguard on duty, so you will be swimming at your own risk. Tell your lawyer to take the fucking day off. You can't sue us. We warned you. Good luck.
Our drinking word is cookies because they're fucking everywhere. I don't know what else. I was gonna make it Oscar, but I think we got that.
Well, that, Jesus, we'll all be annihilated.
Yeah, exactly.
If that's what our word.
Let's just calm down. So you start with however you're gonna do this, and I'm gonna go get a little liquor.
Oh well, will you make me a beverage too? Because you know what I drink. Well, no, because you're gonna be here front and center for part of this segment. Absolutely. Well, the drinking word is what? Cookies. Let me update that. I like how Al walked out of the shot.
Are there napkins anywhere?
Over there in Studio A, you can go over and get them.
Mr. Perkins calling Mr. Perkins.
No, he's busy. He's shaking ice. Shit. I've got to figure out how to do this.
Do which part? Put the word on.
Oh, I have to do that. Oh yeah, I was taught how to do this.
I did see the Squiggly Rehab last week.
Oh, you did? Okay.
You what?
I saw the Squiggly Rehab graphic last week.
Oh yeah, you did. Well, I fucked up and wasn't able to do it this week.
It's fantastic.
What is our word? Cookies.
Cookies.
Oh my God! Semi-typing. We are a highly technical show, ladies and gentlemen. Oh shit! I gotta capitalize that. I can't stand it. No,
And you have to keep talking because we have our mouths full.
You do.
Yeah.
With what? Cookies! Woo!
That's right, yay!
If I had a drink. If I only had a drink.
Get out of my drink.
Oh, get into my car. My God, let's see if I can do
Be
this.
afraid.
Be
I love it.
Oh, there's our word, cookies, if you're watching at home
Well
or
done.
wherever you are.
Well
The
done.
fucked up part is you can watch us from anywhere, absolutely anywhere. That's the craziest thing about this show right now. Oh, look at you, a nice...
Might be a little stronger.
It's also not...
That's weird.
Yeah, and I also don't know how to work the lid.
Jesus. All right, I was able to fix that one.
I'm trying to use all the cookies to get my blood sugar up to
Oh,
the same level.
there's
Thank
more
you.
cookies. So, as some of you may have been listening to, and a couple of you in the studio were actually at Al's house during the Oscars. Al,
Or have seen other performances of the same show.
we had a great time. There's no doubt about that. We had a great time, and Al did too, though he doesn't remember a lot of it.
He does remember, however, Tyler asking about Christoph Waltz winning. You were alert.
Yeah. Oh, I was
At that point?
because it was the first award.
Exactly.
Very, very happy. I think that's what lost me the contest. Buddy Early actually won and did not collect his prize. And I heard that Doug Wilkie and I, as always, tied for whatever place we
We'll
take.
talk about that.
Well, that was funny too.
That was fucking-tastic.
Because one of your comments that you were ranting about was that every year since the beginning of time, you and Doug have either come in number 1 or number 2.
Yeah.
Now this year, you two tied for second.
Yeah.
So consistency is still there. You either came in 1 or 2.
That's
You
right.
both came in 2 this year.
right.
But I think it's the first year that you both have come in 2. Because Early beat your ass.
No, because Riker beat us. Dave Riker,
Whiskers?
Whiskers beat us one
Oh,
year.
okay, because that was one of my favorites when let me just go to my notes.
But how many did I get right? Because I don't know. I
don't remember.
I honestly think I only missed Christoph Waltz.
Not enough.
And it wasn't that I didn't want him to win. I
Right.
just thought that the Weinsteins would win for
Right,
Silver Linings
right.
Playbook.
So as Buddy was leaving,
Oh no!
I remember he had to come
were
back.
Standing, he did have to come back, but Al, you were standing there and you're like, hey, whoever won should have won. You were just kind of whoever won should have won. Buddy walks out the door. How the fuck did he win? I lost it. That was fantastic. And then you just kind of kept. And as we were leaving, then at the very end of the night, you were lounging.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. And
I'm a lady.
at which point you said, well, it was how it should have been. He won. That's okay. Like you were still talking yourself through it. It was
I like how
beautiful.
through over the course of
It
the
was
night,
beautiful.
about 4 different times, he changed what he thought was the first and second best movie ever in the world. And even Buddy's like, you just said it was the first. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I go back. You can't pick a best movie.
No,
it's like
my
trying to pick a
girlfriend
favorite
calls me
child.
on that
Yeah.
all the
So
time.
Yeah.
I have about
I always be like, oh, this is my favorite movie ever. No.
edited down to what is now apparently
Sweet
4.5 minutes.
You will not hear me toss my cookies. That's why I pick cookies because
No.
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 Yeah.
No. I'm a better friend than that.
That
Thank
would
you
not
very
happen.
much.
That would not happen.
Though nobody had to hold your hair, according to Matt
I know, that's so
Baratska.
That
Funny.
was very
That was
funny.
good.
That was funny.
I have a few little audio clips here that I'd like to share with you over the course of the night. Now, we start out very well, very upstanding. Now, remember, this is me holding my phone up in a room of 7 or 8 people watching the awards. So our first audio clip goes like this.
I think this is the toughest I think this
is this set design.
I think besides supporting actor, this is the toughest category in tonight's performance.
What category are we watching?
We are watching
production
set
design,
direction.
formerly art direction.
Oh, I got this one wrong too. I honestly don't think there's a tougher category than this
is
one.
tough.
Okay, so that's good. He's good. Al's good.
Yeah.
Everything was going along well. Now, what I did miss a little bit earlier than that, I thought it was funny because typically when we watch award shows at Al's house, it's sort of like my thing with Drag Race at the bar.
Mm-hmm.
We're here to watch the goddamn show. Though it's on recording, when the show's playing, you don't talk. You watch the show. We'll pause it as much as you want and discuss. At one point, before that clip was recorded, everybody in the goddamn room was talking while the show was playing, and it was cracking me up because I'm like, no one is watching the goddamn show.
Oh, and that was during Shirley Bassey singing or something.
Well, that's when
Somebody was like, "Can we just watch the goddamn performance?"
That'd
we
be
all
Buddy
started
Early.
talking.
I think I may have said that too. The funny part was when she showed up, Al's like, the lady in the recliner knows why she's here now because I wanted to see that. So as we progress along, another audio clip of Al.
The dead people tribute is very important.
There you go. Of course it is. It's very, very important.
The second most important part of the
we
evening.
watched the whole thing.
Best actress, of course, is
Yeah,
the.
As we
absolutely.
progressively get along throughout the evening, things start to change. Wait.
I went
I
silent.
don't know if I'm drinking white wine or champagne.
If you missed that, that's Al saying, I don't know if I'm drinking white wine or champagne. Turns out both.
Oh my god.
Shitty champagne.
It's champagne spritzer.
Al wakes up on the ground. Have you met me?
Did you miss that?
Yeah, tomorrow morning when Al wakes up on the ground,
Right.
have you met me?
Yeah, our friend Tim Landis making an oddly accurate observation.
But hey, if you know the Ruthie stories, she would if we were drunk, she would walk us into the bathroom and just lay, because we had a second bathroom, and she would lay us next to the cool porcelain, and she'd be
Right.
like, just sleep here. And she spent enough time next to that toilet to know the good of it.
She knew how
And then
that
she
worked
would tell
out.
us she had low blood pressure.
Right. That's what it was.
Is Ruthie your mom or
Yes.
a former roommate? Oh, that's amazing.
Oddly both.
That's amazing.
That's
I love it.
Oh, okay. Let's continue on with a segment that I'm calling Al's Insight. Oh, here we
Jesus
go.
Christ.
Yes.
Recliner girl.
What?
Who holds her liquor better than me? And you find somebody.
Oh.
Me?
It doesn't happen.
Me?
Yeah, she does. See, that's. I'm gonna spend like at least 12 months living that down.
So,
That was fantastic.
So obviously not all of you were in Al's living room with us. So I brought over my own chair, and it's a fold-up sort of a camping chair that has an ottoman built into it. So he kept calling me Recliner Girl.
She fancy.
She fancy.
Well, I knew I
She
was going to be
fancy.
there for 4 hours, and I wanted to be comfortable.
Right. That's a good point.
So
And
I
the
built.
seating was limited.
Yeah.
We,
Well,
we were
that's
one.
true.
We were one past the limit.
But that was the other issue that was killing me was that he had set up an assigned seat for
Right.
me on the other side of the room, and I'm just I don't want to sit. Like I don't like sitting. This is a bit much for me, and so like I'm always moving in the chair. Like I just, and so
Oh, it was
he
making me
kept
nervous.
screaming
I
over
know.
Mom, over you.
Can
Are you comfortable? Can you see? I don't believe you. Just
Yeah.
screaming.
I
And
I
I'm
could
like,
not
I'm
relax
good.
because I'm like, where is she?
Good.
Why doesn't she have a chair? Why aren't you seated?
I'm actually debating.
What am I
makes me
drinking?
nervous,
White
too.
wine or champagne?
Though,
I know.
Though,
She makes
though
me
I
nervous,
never
too.
hold events at my house, I'm actually debating that next year we will.
Okay.
Because I have more seating.
Yeah.
Sure?
All
No,
those things,
no,
yeah.
And
We
you
may-
have an approved TV now.
We might, yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah, because
60
that
inch.
seating, and it happened with the inauguration at Mark's house too. Like none of us, because these old houses don't have big living rooms.
Right.
Right.
Like we
That's
gotta.
true.
And that's what you said. I'm going to go to my house. Can I get you anything? A bigger living room? Like I
He did say that.
Fitting 9 people into my
Oh, no.
living room is tricky business.
Tyler, we'll get to you in your snatch game in
Oh,
just a
and
few
again,
minutes.
so I have a lot of thoughts on
We
that.
have 3.5 more minutes of Al to go here on this little segment. So our next segment is stand by. I edited this on a crazy day.
I do not want to hand out awards that have not been handed out previously in this, but Andre's shit, that gets it done.
It gets it done. So that's the comment you made in reference to all the shitty
The Andre
champagne.
champagne.
Oh.
Yeah, so you were like, it gets it
You
done.
turned around and you said, "Who brought this shit?" Thanks. And you looked right at me.
Yeah,
and I'm
why
like,
don't you?
I didn't bring that. And Katy Jones
Oh.
like, I did.
Yeah.
And one of them had a screw. I remember I knew
In the
the end
kitchen
was
with me.
coming. I'm in the kitchen and I'm like, I just unscrewed a bottle of champagne.
Done and done.
Yes.
Death is coming. Death is coming. I didn't even know it was possible to buy a screw top champagne.
I didn't either.
Oh, but let me tell you, that was the first thing I thought of when I woke up in a pool of my own sick on the floor. I'm like, oh, I drink screw top
Script
champagne.
Let's continue on, shall we?
Oh, Jesus.
All right.
Who was in
Now,
Agnes?
I want you to enjoy two things from the same story. First is that he read off names, and you stuttered, and then I want you to remember that you said Agnes of God, because Agnes of God to me is one of the 3 greatest movies ever made.
I totally agree.
I don't even know what are you flipping through?
Oh,
right
it's
now?
the Oscar Bible. What is wrong with you? In my mind, Doug Wilkie, when you come out of that bedroom, the number one thing in all of Oscardom is Glenn Close.
Says you.
Of course.
Okay.
Are there other voters? Is Glenn Close in Dangerous Liaisons?
I know the best part is
Done.
I'm not
Yeah.
saying anything drunk that I don't agree with sober, so I feel better.
Okay.
I'm shouting it at you, but
Yes. Now let's remind.
I will ask you to take a less marital tone. It's the best line from any movie. Next caller.
I'm going to give you here. There's an overshot of
it
the
will be
studio.
considered a declaration of war.
Yeah.
There is a wide shot of our studio. So what you see in the studio right now of that shot, that is about the same size as Al's living room. Al is yelling at us in his own living room.
It's a little startling.
Let's continue on, shall
I
we?
enjoyed it.
If you have never seen Jessica Lange and Will There Ever Be a Morning? Will there
Frances.
ever
I
be a
have not.
morning?
I've only seen her
Jessica
in-
Lange in the greatest performance
You've
by
never
an
seen
actress
Tootsie?
ever
Shut.
that has ever existed
Only
is
American
Frances.
That is really good.
The
She was
only thing
amazing.
that will ever top her in Frances, and the reason that everybody in the Academy, in the Doug, Bud Early, Al Perkins, Renee
Bud
Chavez
Early.
world of nominated, we don't know what to do with, and I can't even hold this book in the, I cannot even hold
dropped
on
it
this
right
book. We don't know what to do with Sophie's Choice and Frances. We don't. Doug Wilkie! We don't know what to do
So
with.
put it 16.
Jessica Lange plays the role of Frances.
Okay, that is the pinnacle. When you start, that is in the laughter you hear. That
That's Marnie spitting.
she spit all over me. She spit all over me, and she and I were laughing so hard. I'm trying to hold the phone while you're still talking. God damn it!
I know what, and the shame is all of that is just audio, because truly, I told him we should have had cameras there, because you were going wild like ape, like Doug Wilkie, and your arms were going crazy. It was
These are my
hysterical
favorite
and out
Oscar
of
points.
nowhere.
I think Doug Wilkie has heard these same
Tourette's-like.
stories for like 27 years. But the Jessica Lange Meryl Streep thing is how they finally had to decide in a split vote. They went at the New York Film Critics over and over and over, and finally they said she was in Tootsie. Not give her an award for Tootsie and give it to Meryl Streep, and we can all leave here.
That's what you
because
said.
no one
Yep.
could ever win. Agnes of God. If Agnes of God comes on, I will lie to you. If it comes on right before the show starts,
Right.
I'll call and tell you, oh, it was just a
Amen.
car accident.
Yeah.
I have to watch it. And that's the reason I wanted in France to find out who won, because I wanted Meg Tilly to win so bad for Agnes of God.
I have a request from Mark Martinez. He wants to hear that again. So let me see if I can find just the part where you scream Doug Wilkie. Hang on a minute.
Greatest performances by an actress in the leading role are Jessica Lange and Frances. And Meryl Streep in Sophie's Choice. And there's no Meryl Streep won.
Yeah.
Right, because all they did was they said at the New York Film Critics Association.
Oh, actually, I've already missed it. Hang on, let's go back.
No, it's at the end of that.
They haven't
You know who this is funny to besides us?
No one.
Nobody.
I know. We got to get out of this.
No.
They hear me drunk on here all the time.
The two greatest performances by actresses.
No, actually, because we're still laughing. Hang on a minute.
Frances, we don't. Doug Wilkie!
Oh my God.
And the best part is I'm drunk enough. I don't know anybody's name, but I know that the book that Frances Farmer wrote is called Will There Really Be a Morning? I don't even call it by the right title.
Oh.
I give it the name of
Frances,
the
right.
Frances.
Well,
Do
and
with
not just that, but
Sophie's
you didn't
Choice.
just yell Doug Wilkie then.
Doug Wilkie!
all night, like for all the rest of the night. It was just constant, and it was fucking hysterical.
That is the day that I love him the most, though. Like that's
That
our
is
Oscars.
going to be. That's going to be the. It's back to the perfume counter for me. That's going to be a new one for us. I know that will.
Absolutely.
Be.
I
Just
love
scream
that.
out Doug Wilkie.
I just
Okay,
love
so we
that.
have to go on to Snatch Game. 'Cause
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, go
okay.
ahead.
So Snatch Game with
The RuPaul's Drag Race.
RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yes.
Someone posted it, and now we talked about the little girl on the new normal who they keep making impersonate
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
I don't know if you're watching that, but she's really good. Like she did Mark
She's
Cher.
amazing.
She's been doing
Yeah.
Cher. She
Yeah.
did Maggie Smith a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
That was a little off, but it was funny that they made her. But her little Edie was
Yeah, it was
Oh, that was.
spectacular.
It really
Yeah,
was.
yeah.
Now, what I was kind of saddened about, and I don't know where you're going
Yeah,
with
yeah.
this.
Let me get there. So we're gonna come together.
Okay,
and I'll
go,
pass
go,
it over.
go.
So this guy on Drag Race, which I don't watch at all, they have to do impressions. Then
Right.
they're going to go on a version of Match Game, where Match Game was all snarky comments, and you couldn't just sit there and be boring. Like today's celebrities could never make it on there because you had to fire off.
You
There
had to be
was no
funny.
writers. You had to be funny.
Right.
The next time I'm wearing my glasses, remind me to do my Charles Nelson Riley impression
Oh
for you.
yeah, I mean, and it was all just bitchy gays and old lesbians. Like it's all funny people. So
Thank
this
you, Molly.
right. You
I
heard
find
me.
it funny, and I haven't even seen it.
So this drag queen says he's going to do Little Edie, and that's going to be his impersonation. And these other queens are all like, I never heard of that.
Who the hell's
Then
she?
Google it. If someone just said they're going to do it and you don't know who it is, we all have these fucking phones. I'm sorry. Google it and find out who it is. And then when they're doing the panel and they go on Snatch Game, as I just said as well, RuPaul knows exactly who it is, and
Hell
so
yes.
do both guest judges. They're
Yes.
loving the impersonation.
Like only two or three of the rest of the 8 people that are in the cast knew who it was. Otherwise, everybody else was lost.
But he played off everything.
Everybody. It was
he was
so
making
funny.
fun of the one playing Marilyn Monroe. He made fun of the one playing Keisha. And what did he call her? Ketchup?
Ketchup.
It was hysterical. And then the one was supposed to be Toni Braxton's sister. In what world is that even a celebrity?
No, but the
She
funny part,
had
like a reality show.
right?
Yeah.
But the funny part was that she was spoofing on the fact that she now had her moment and she was just trying to shine. It was actually funny in the game that they were doing.
But who had their moment? Little Edie?
No. The Toni Braxton's sister had her moment because of that reality show, and she was trying to come out of the shadow of being Toni Braxton's sister. So she played it off well, and it did come out well in the Snatch Game. But I knew immediately who she was. Before she said who she was, I saw her in that kerchief. I'm like, oh my God, she's a lady.
And then the one that was doing Marilyn Monroe didn't know anything about the presidents or like that.
Nothing?
She had nothing, but Little Edie was like, well, that's my brother and that's my cousin-in-law.
Yeah,
it was,
right, I saw that.
She was so sharp.
Yeah, and then
But just the reaction of all the rest of them, like, I don't know who this person is.
in the
then
middle,
Google it.
In the middle of the show, in the middle of the Snatch Game, and they aired it last night. So if you've seen the episode, the person who was playing Janet Jackson, which I don't know how you make Janet Jackson funny on a Snatch Game episode, but
Yeah.
you do, or you didn't. She literally says in the middle of the thing, trying to out the other contestant. It's like, who's Little Edie? And she totally explained RuPaul and exactly knew who she was. Funny. And she was dead on.
Yeah.
Dead on. The only thing she didn't say was, Jerry likes my corn.
No, but that's the mom.
Oh, that's the mom.
That's
Okay,
the
I thought
mom.
it was the daughter.
Oh my God. So I really,
funny.
I was kind of confused because I thought not playing well.
Sorry.
What's your
Do you have
problem?
a charger
Oh, I
for
don't.
Not
iPad?
for that. No, I don't.
Okay.
No.
And I don't have my backpack. Sorry.
Okay, it's okay. I normally have mine. I have no idea why I don't. Sorry. My
But,
bad.
but Snatch Game, and then even the one who played Lady Bunny, who oddly worked with Lady Bunny previously, and RuPaul grew up with Lady Bunny.
Oh, I thought Lady Bunny had lost weight. That wasn't Lady Bunny.
No, that was another queen.
Oh,
who used to work with her and do her hair.
But it really was Judy Tenuta, right? Not Judy Tenuta. Who was?
Julie Brown and downtown Julie Brown were on the the contestants.
Who's Judy?
Judy Tenuta is
Judy
an old
Tenuta is
stand-up
the-
comic with
Yeah.
the accordion.
She's kind of a Jewish one.
Oh, okay. I mixed. She is.
Oh,
Yeah.
there we go.
And then she goes,
right. With
She's
the
fun.
little-
They're both funny. I
that
like
was my Judy Tenuta impression.
Thank
by
That
the
was
way.
very good. That was very good.
Very nice.
Oh, that's.
You
I
get
thought that was
we'll
Charles
give you a
Nelson Riley.
We'll give you a cookie for that.
So I really thought, and granted, I only saw the clip, but I would like research what you're doing. Like, you can go on YouTube and find out what Match Game was all about. Like, especially Janet Jackson, like flash a boob, play
There's
along.
Right.
Yeah.
But they several of them missed on that. And what I do think is interesting, though I don't remember any of their names because I don't care that much.
Yeah.
I just think it's funny to watch the snarky comments back and forth in the entire Drag Race show. The fact, and I do realize we are from a different generation, but if you understand that when you go to that competition, one of the things you're going to be required to do is to play that game.
Yeah.
It's all over YouTube. It's on the Game Show
Yeah.
Network. You can research it and find out how that show worked and why it was funny.
Right.
Don't come unprepared. and don't figure out who you're going to be the day when you're there, because that was what a couple of them did. They're like, oh, we're just going to do this. So I just have to be a character. You've got to prep for that.
Yeah, right. I was kind of amazed at the lack of, that's what kept, like, okay, you did a lot of work on the costume, and you said the Toni Braxton sister thing worked.
I thought it worked.
The Marilyn and the Janet things were such bombs.
Horrible. They were horrible.
But RuPaul's not 20. He knows who he's a pop culture. He knows his pop culture.
Right. Well, and he grew up in so many different industries and around so much. He's seen everything.
Yeah, but I did love when the drag queen was trying to explain to the bitchy queens who little Edie was. He goes, and for some reason after she died, she influenced fashion. Because there is that part of the documentary where all the designers are like, I just loved how she did the scarf,
Like
and
the
I
wrap,
love the wrap
around. It's a skirt,
and
it's a scarf.
all the different people that were like, well, I kind of stole it from
Little
Because
Edie.
that was
Sure.
that was I don't remember the 70s part of the cult phenomenon. I honestly don't. But in the 80s, when videos first came out, when they were first pushing them, I remember being at parties and people pushing this VHS tape of like, watch this fucked up shit. And then I forgot about it, and it came out on DVD like, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 years ago. And it stuck in the back of my mind, like, something about this was big at gay parties in the 80s. So I'm like, I gotta watch this again. And as I'm watching, I'm like, oh my God, I wish I would have seen this back in the 80s when I was completely lit up.
Right.
Or on Sunday with cookies.
But even I was, tossing my cookies.
Just kidding.
Woo.
That was Grey Gardens was yet another of the hundreds of things I learned from Rosie O'Donnell.
Oh, sure.
Funny stuff.
Because you're not prepared. Like, you'll never in your life be prepared for that documentary.
No, not at all.
No.
That was one of the strangest things that I've ever seen, to where I was like, huh?
And by all means,
What's
if you
happening? Because I wasn't like.
Did you see the
ready
Drew
for
Barrymore,
any-
Jessica Lange?
the movie, they
version?
actually made a feature film.
No, and I remember that. I'm trying to think. I don't believe
And
that
Drew
I did.
Barrymore
I saw the
nailed Little
document-
Edie.
I saw
Nailed
her
both-
in different
both
things,
of
and I
them.
thought
Both of them,
amazing.
yeah. And then there was a
No, but I
Broadway
haven't seen
musical
the movie.
with
I've seen
Christine
the other.
Ebersol and
Okay.
I can't think of her name, that won the Tony as supporting actress. But because Christine Ebersol plays Big Edie in the first act, and then she's Little Edie in the second act, and they have. I can't think of her name, that came out, and she did the Jerry Likes My Corn, and I seriously
Almost spit.
busted a nut. Like, I was like so not ready. And you know when you're in the theater and you're trying to be dignified, and all of a sudden someone does an imitation, Jerry likes my corn, and I was like, oh sweet Lord, and then she sang a song about it, and I was like, I'm finished.
Obviously, if you don't know what we're talking about, Google Grey Gardens, look for the feature film, or there are clips of the documentaries on YouTube. I know there are,
Oh,
and
okay.
it is, and you can't just watch one. You've got to get.
I think the whole thing's on.
You have
on
to
YouTube.
absorb all of it.
In parts.
Yeah,
That is one of the
Where you
that's
just
a
sit there, you're
documentary
like,
that has
what
an
the
ending.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then if you watch that and then understand it and go back and watch the segment of Snatch Game on RuPaul's Drag Race, you will so understand why she won that challenge, because she was dead on.
Dead on.
Oddly, there's a house on Missouri between 7th Street and Central that Al and I ride by all the time. It was deserted for the longest time, and we dubbed it Grey Gardens, the house.
Set far back.
Little
two-story.
set-
Oh,
right.
love
I
that
know.
house.
Right, it's sold, but we
Yes.
kept thinking to ourselves, what if we just buy that and move in, and we'll have our own Grey Gardens?
Everybody will have their own wing. We won't fix it up. We'll let the cats and the
Abso-fucking-lutely.
raccoons in.
Yes.
I said raccoons.
I'm
Don't
in.
emails.
Wow. Wow. Okay, cookies.
And I believe that's the word for next week.
Could be. All right, we are in the middle of our.
Mary Louise Wilson.
Mary Louise Wilson, yes.
And
Another one
Christine
whose real
Ebersol.
name is Meryl, who could be Meryl if she wanted to.
We are
There you
in the
go.
middle of
Okay.
hour 2. It's 8:36. It's a Tuesday night. You're in the studio with the show. My name is Clayton McKee. I'm here with Al, Marnie, and Molly. We'll be back in just a few moments right here on, what allegedly is QTalk America.
If you think it sucked so far, just wait till after this 30-second dance break.
And now a special offer from your friends at QTalk America and TLAgay.com. Did you know that TLAgay.com is one of the world's largest online and mail order retailers, offering the very best in gay entertainment? From gay-themed movies and adult entertainment on DVD as well as video on demand, they also have literature, ebooks, and yes, even toys. TLAgay.com provides services to hundreds of thousands of customers worldwide. And right now, their current bestseller is an exclusive DVD called Global Warming. It contains 2 award-winning short films from gay writer-director Reed Waterer. You can only find this at TLAgay.com. And right now, through the end of February, if you go to the website, TLAgay.com/QTalk, and do your shopping from all the products and services that they have to offer, you can use the coupon code QTalk at your checkout and receive 10% off of your order. And that's in addition to any other discounts that they're currently offering. It's a great deal from your friends at QTalk America and TLAgay.com, which, by the way, is a gay-owned and operated company that's been around since the 90s. And QTalk America is proud to promote this out and proud company. Once again, it's TLAgay.com. Boom, 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 boom. All of us are back on. We're back in studio. It's 8:38 on a Tuesday night. I'll get you that in just a minute. I don't know.
No problem.
I may have screwed that up. Oh,
It's not even
we have
a big
to.
deal.
Okay, Molly, unlock the door. No, you have to unlock it and now turn it. It'll pop. There we go. Cheesy Pete's. I was so rushed when I came in this evening, I didn't actually prep the door so that you guys wouldn't lock yourself out of the studio.
And we're the most smartest, so we've done it 3 times now.
The best part is that there's no reason to wait for the word cookies because it's just been one technical fuck up.
Yeah,
after
so we
another.
can, and by the way, Molly, if you don't realize, we do drink during any technical fuck up.
Oh, no,
And
I
there
didn't.
have been a ton of them.
Marnie!
She's in there looking for a charger for her iPod or iPad. Something eye related. I'm not sure.
Something eye related.
I'm not sure. Yes. Okay, so we've gone through the embarrassing Al segment. We've talked about other Oscar stuff. What else do we want to yak about?
Just from entertainment, I want to throw it out there that there is what looks like a great little movie coming out, and it's called Stoker or Stroker, and I'm not sure which. And I've been trying to find it everywhere because it keeps popping up on trailers on movies that I rent, and then it's on a trailer at the movie theater. So I'm like, is this movie out? Is it coming out?
What's the premise of it?
Let me. It's Nicole Kidman, Matthew Good, and Maya, Alice in Wonderland. The kids are all right.
Cookie.
Yeah, her. It looks so good and a little creepy. It's got.
Is she in a car in the trailer? Like she's sitting in an old car in the passenger seat? Or maybe on the poster?
The stepfather is kind of a killer. You're never quite sure what's going on. So I'm really interested in this. So if somebody in a big city like Harrison has a chance to see this, tell me what it is. 'Cause I can't wait for it to come here. Let me go to IMDb.
Well, I meant to look and see who the hell's listening to us outside of our metro area.
We may have lost everybody.
I think we lost everybody in the Al segment.
Yeah, we don't have anybody.
It is called Stoker.
We'd like to remind you that if you're having technical difficulties with the video, that you can listen without watching.
Yeah.
Yes.
You can still click on listen live, and
Right.
you don't have to watch as well.
So this is this movie's called Stoker. It's coming out any minute. I'm not sure. But this guy, he made a name for himself a couple years ago by this movie Old Boy, which is a fucked up foreign movie. But anyways, so if anybody sees it, I'm dying to see it, and I keep saying Nicole Kidman, now that she lost the Botox, is really good again. So it looks. I don't know if it looks scary. Does it?
Speaking of which, what the fuck is wrong with Renee Zellweger?
Oh, a lot.
Seriously, that was one of the things that I have. That
Really, is that
just
on your list?
Fucking made me laugh. Well,
Okay.
just some of the different things that before the battery dies. There was a tweet that went out, and Wanda Sykes, I just think is phenomenal.
So funny.
Phenomenal. And she has on here, can someone please get that light out of Renee's eyes? Poor girl can barely see. And it was so true. And apparently it dumbfounded her to the point where she couldn't fucking read either. Because the minute that Richard Gere handed over, he was like, here, go ahead and read.
Did you see her on the pre-show?
No.
With Latifah and Laura Spencer?
Who looked fabulous, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Something is wrong with Homegirl's face.
Are you talking about? Well, I said she had like a microdermabrasion thing, probably way hours before.
I think minutes before.
Have.
It looked
It was red. She looked awful.
I always think she's having some kind of allergic
she
reaction.
Always
and
looks like the sour lemon
Yeah.
poster girl. But are those the peanut butter Girl Scout cookies?
Yes, they are.
Yes, please. Thank you. Cookies.
All right, what's on your list before you go dead?
As I'm in your shop, Molly. Do you need this USB plugged in still? Or are you good?
I'm awesome.
You good? Let me try something for Marn to see if we can get her some power. I don't know if we can.
Oh, that'd be funny if it worked.
We may have to load a driver. Stand by, installing. Stand by.
Installing.
Keep talking.
All right, so let's. So
Right?
the
This is riveting.
Not charging it.
I know this is one of those things where we gotta work on this.
Well, it's a good thing we at
installed
least
yet.
have cameras. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Hold your F
Okay,
and
so when
horses.
does the Pope officially finish? Is it the
Thursday.
28th? Thursday. Thursday, and I
We
guess
should have a cookie.
or two. I just want to say I need to be cunty to you more often because if these are the cookies that are the result of me being cunty to you, I'm going to do it more often.
I'll
I was a little cunty to Marnie this morning.
I'll join you.
I'm all, what in the hell are you talking about? I got very confused.
Okay, now
Yes, I just bake and cook when that happens.
How have we ignored this story for this long? Michael Jackson's son, Prince the First,
Yes.
is going to be a reporter on what like TMZ or Entertainment Tonight.
Catherine Jackson
Really?
should be put in jail.
16 years old. Is
Really?
is this like the children of Will Smith? Do you need a job this badly?
Well,
What is going on?
we talked about this, was it last week when we were talking about all the dead celebrities from Celebrity Rehab?
Oh, yeah.
About the idea that Clayton was saying, why do they go on these shows and why do they do this? They crave that fame, and that's all
Right.
that Michael Jackson had known. That's all his children know.
But I think I was under the impression that he shielded them better than this. Like this,
You're amazing.
I honest to God thought
He did, but that's still, I mean,
It's
look
not
at
continuing
then,
on to the
all
family
of a sudden
members.
he dies, and
you got LaToya running the ship.
Yeah.
I mean, who would have thought that Michael Jackson was going to be like the better parent?
Right? The normal one.
But then,
Dun, dun,
like,
dun.
let's say you're like some.
Hold on. Cookies for Clayton. Cookies for Clayton.
I'm gonna go make.
Thank you.
You keep talking about the Jacksons. I'm gonna go make a better drink.
Well, yeah, because I
I
couldn't
thought
find
you
any
were
more
gonna
Diet
go get
Coke, so
some
that's mostly just
Amen.
Crown on Ice.
No, this drink is lovely.
Oh,
I'm gonna
okay.
make
That's just Crown Royal on Ice.
nothing I'm not used to.
There you go. There you go.
Continue
With a
on
br-
about the
with a-
Jackson family.
No, but I mean, I really do. I think that
and-
that's all that they've been used to.
And I'm sure, side note, you know that Janet is now married officially.
Yes.
Oh,
Yesterday.
She loves her secret weddings.
Boom.
She sure does.
El DeBarge, was he
Google
the
it.
first?
No, not
El
El
DeBarge, but he was the first.
No, Chico DeBarge.
Whatever.
Same.
No, it's not.
Same.
It's
Totally
different.
thought it was
No.
Aldebar.
No, it's not. But it's some guy. It's like dot not feather. Something.
Okay. We haven't made fun of that population in a while.
Right.
But if, like, let's say you're Zach Braff, who maybe not everybody's familiar with him. Right. I love him too. But you're being
Scrubs?
interviewed by Michael Jackson's son. You're not going to care what. All you're watching the interview for is to find out what the
What
hell.
a freak he's going to say
Right.
to you. Right.
I mean,
I
it's,
think they're all pretty normal for. I might be way off base on that, but everything that I've seen, they
I
all
think they've
seem
just got
pretty
him
fucking
trained
normal.
good.
You're
Trained
right.
well.
But-
no, but considering what everybody thought, Michael Jackson's kids, and I mean, seriously, you got to get rid of that
Yeah.
whole blanket fucking name. I mean, that has to go away.
I'm
mean-
looking at a picture of. I think this is Blanket. Kind of looks like Michael Jackson after all the surgeries. It's kind of strange.
Oh, the youngest one?
So he must have found someone to be the sperm donor that kind of looked like he did after all the.
Wasn't it the nanny? The big blonde German nanny?
No, but the male donor, because there's always these
Oh.
rumors that he's not really that
Sure.
there was a sperm donor.
Right.
It was
But
probably,
they're- I mean,
it was
they're-
probably Chico DeBarge.
I think the girl, whatever her name may possibly be, is very pretty.
Oh, she is. Paris.
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 Oh, that's a pretty name. I
It
can't
is.
make fun of
That's
I
lovely.
can't make fun of that. I just think when your main musical rival is Prince and that's his real name, why name your children that?
I think it's.
Never even put that together.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. That.
Yeah.
And my understanding is that that's what it's for.
Well, I thought it was Prince Michael.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what-
it is.
Yeah.
Oh.
And
but-
but it's Prince Michael 1 and Prince Michael 2.
Which he meant like
Hence,
King of Pop,
Blanket,
Prince of Pop,
The youngest one
is really named Prince as
Prince.
well.
I just so was not paying attention.
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
night.
And then
Can't think
they
why.
called him Blanket because, you know, he always had that fucking
I just
blanket
remember the
over his head.
dangling.
Yeah, the dangling.
All right, so
Yeah.
maybe
off
not the
the
best
balcony.
parent.
And the
Maybe
mask.
we lost a couple parenting.
Fucked a couple of little
points.
boys, but other than
Well,
that, he's
and
awesome.
you know, Joe and Catherine weren't exactly stellar.
Correct. He
you
didn't
know.
have the best role model.
No.
I'm going to go out on a limb. I never thought he was a child molester because I just thought he was too.
He is too young.
I don't think
I
he
don't
was
think he
I
was.
don't-
I don't think he's sexual enough.
Right.
Frankly,
Absolutely.
to be a child molester.
And
As
I
horrible
don't-
as that
I don't-
sounds.
But
And I
you know
don't
what-
think even emotionally that he was to the degree of like a sexual abuse of a kid, because I don't think emotionally he was there either.
Yeah,
Right.
I don't think of him as a predator. The weird thing, though, and I found this out. Well, the fact that he wore a wig for all those years and I didn't catch on to it is embarrassing for me. I got to.
Oh, you mean like the latter years?
Yeah.
Sure.
That was all about. I never caught that.
Sure. That would
Honest
make
to God,
sense to
I
me.
know. It's
Fair enough. All right.
Okay, so the wig thing threw me, but the fact that wasn't his real voice.
Wait, what?
What?
That was a put on. He really had a deep voice.
No.
That speaking voice like this was something that they all did for the father, and it's why they all talk like that. But I guess
What? Name your source.
Quincy Jones
Michael.
and someone else.
The way they talk softly?
The
Yeah.
way they talk softly
Yes.
is an act.
Barry
Yes.
Gordy?
I don't want to say it's Barry Gordy, but I think it was like Quincy Jones and someone else talked about calling the house for the first time and hearing him talk in his real voice, and he's like, who is this?
Yeah.
I heard
And then he went,
Janet
"Oh, it's me,
Jackson
Mike."
actually say that in an interview, that they talked that way because of their father.
And they all do it. That's why I thought it was
That's
real,
fucking
because
weird.
Right?
even Jermaine and the ones that you can't name anymore talk like that.
Tito.
Marlon. Wyan.
No, that's Marlon Wayans.
That's
No,
Marlon Wayans,
but I
isn't it?
think, isn't there like a
No.
W1, like a Wyatt or a Whippy or a...
No.
Whoop-de-doo?
There's Your Majesty.
That's right.
Oh, that's
Jermichael.
That's a
Yeah,
child.
It is.
That's
but still.
Jermaine's kids.
Okay, Marlon, Jermaine, Tito.
Let's not forget Reby.
We're not on the girls yet.
Ooh.
Yeah, Reby,
Latoya,
Latoya,
Reby.
Janet. Because there's only 3 girls, right?
I believe so. I need some.
Well, and
But
Michael.
see, but I think there's
Okay,
a W
now-
in there, like
now
a Wayne.
The whole Snatch Game
Oh,
thing.
there might be.
Do you think
Wayne.
anybody would have caught it if they kept calling her Penny and trying to adopt her?
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Or just punched her.
That's fantastic.
I need a little assistance, Al. I don't know how much.
Al
more-
assistance.
Al assistance. Okay, how much more do I need to fill this up with booze?
Do you have lemonade already?
I have lemonade here.
Just a can of lemonade.
Of booze?
Yeah.
How much lemonade?
A can.
Oh, I'll be here for a minute. Go ahead. How many
Yeah.
eggs? How many eggs?
1.
Go. Okay, go.
What is
That
going
might be
on?
that might be a little extra. That might be a little extra ice. So be prepared.
Very excited.
You might
whatever
want
that
to
is.
pour whiskey in there first and just guesstimate.
whiskey
It's
in the
delicious.
jarro.
tell
So
me.
I would get to like a cup of whiskey.
A cup of whiskey?
How close are you to a cup?
Oh,
Okay, so let's go.
You're
Yeah.
going to be tossing some cookies.
Do you,
What?
Yeah.
Drink.
Tossing
bitches.
cookies.
All right, let's see about how that works out. Stand by, Molly.
Okay.
Oh, Martin. That's I forgot. Mark's family is all M's too.
Okay.
And then Minnie and Mo are his fathers. He's got 2 dads.
How many?
I thought that was the Pet Boys.
We were so.
Manny, Mo, and Tito. Boys.
Oh, I don't fucking know. This hangover may last until I die. Or it may be the cause of death. Oh, and where are we on the Violence Against Women Act? I know it passed the Senate. Now, did it have to go back to the House? Like, I feel like Googling this, or someone tell us from the chat
somebody
room.
tell us, please.
Because I know it
because
finally
it's
passed
exhausting.
the Senate, and it was 22, I think it was 22 male Republican senators voted against it, including Mark Rubio.
Including Paul Ryan.
Paul, oh, of course.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
Your
Almost
rapist is your baby daddy, Paul Ryan.
Paul Ryan, that fucktard.
But did you see?
Because he doesn't believe you can be violent against women.
No. Because, it's redundant.
Can
I mean,
interrupt? Can I interrupt?
oxymoron.
May
So,
I interrupt all of you for just a
please.
moment? You stand by.
May I just?
Hello?
Them some good sounding cookies.
How do I know when it's done?
When you're bored, hitting the button.
I hate it. Hold the phone.
That's what she said.
Right?
When you're done flicking the little man in the boat.
Gross.
I'm going to say now.
Seriously gross.
All right. Continue on.
Very funny.
Oh.
So there was a story out of Mississippi, because it's such a lovely, lovely place. No offense to any Mississippian. But there was a story, I don't know if you guys heard about it, about the first same-sex union kind of thing that had ever taken place.
Ever
Taken place, and it was... It was in Mississippi, and I'll get to kind of the where. But there was such a huge issue that a journalist published it on the front page of their kind of hometown paper. That's
funny because my girlfriend posted that on Facebook, and I haven't read it yet.
Oh, yeah. It was basically there was this this ceremony, which obviously wasn't legal, and they put it on the front page of the paper, and people went fucking crazy. It was in the town of Laurel, Mississippi. And it was a story for the local paper. This was the first gay wedding in the town of Laurel, so it just made sense. And it had this heart-rending twist, it says. Jessica Powell's wedding to Crystal Craven. Crystal Craven was diagnosed with stage 4 brain cancer and has had 3 operations in the past year. It was a moving piece that described how Craven at the wedding wore a white cowboy hat to hide the scars from her latest surgery. If the chemo doesn't work, she said, we don't know what happens after that. The result for putting this story on this front page was a torrent of angry calls, canceled subscriptions, and outraged comments on the paper's website and Facebook page. People just did. They went fucking crazy about this. Why? Well, it's Mississippi. I don't know. I mean, there's just that whole kind of backwoods bullshit. I don't know. They're saying that it's all, like left-leaning and all the, but you write anything about gay people and suddenly you're just liberal as hell.
Yeah.
The folks that wrote it were like, this is just a story.
Right, yeah.
They happen to be gay, and if that's left-leaning, but this was just it was just kind of sad that some of the stuff that they put on there and some of they were talking about hurting some of the journalists, some of the people that wrote for the paper.
Yeah, and they probably all have guns.
And they could be assault rifles.
They're just classy people. And now from your state of Minnesota, Senator Brandon Peterson is poised to be the first GOP co-sponsor of a marriage equality bill. Nice. And the National Organization for Marriage is ready to punish him for it. And there was all these people. There was like a list of 70 Republican lawmakers that came out today to say end DOMA. Just get rid of it. So, and now they're all going to be primaried out. But this Peterson is... I'm
hoping it splits the GOP. I hope it splits between, crazy fucking T-Publicans and actual old-school small government Republicans.
Yeah, so, I mean, so this might go through Chicago. Illinois is set to vote. From what I understand today, Illinois is set to vote on marriage equality today, although that seems to be taking forever. I feel like I've been wondering about how Illinois is coming.
I feel like you've been asking
for about
a
month.
Yeah. Do we have an end date on that? Like when do they have to actually have it done?
I thought it was Thursday. I think
so Thursday. It is finally we have a deadline.
It coincides with the Pope retiring.
Yeah, that goes
have
together.
Some cookies.
Into February.
Because Valentine's Day is when they
right. That's when they pass the House, Senate.
Right. Oh, it's because of
whatever the first step is. It passed on the 14th, and then I think the big vote is the day after tomorrow.
Yeah, and I was hoping the bill comes to a full vote in the House March 6th or 7th. If it passes, Governor Pat Quinn is expected to sign the bill into law quickly because they're in a lame duck session. I guess they don't sign their legislators in like we do for the whole country on whatever it is, the 3rd of January, whatever date they pick.
All my Illinois friends have been posting about it, so let me see if I can find.
Just to go back to that pompous Pope. The interesting thing, there was an article that says allegations of corruption at the Vatican.
No.
Shocking.
Shut up.
What?
Come on. Well, hello, Captain Obvious.
Palace intrigue at the Vatican.
Scandal threatens to overshadow Pope's final days. I mean, really, that's the headline, and it says Vatican officials were already trying Monday to swat down unsavory claims by Italian publications of a brewing episode involving gay priests, male prostitutes, and blackmail. When news broke that Benedict had moved up the resignation of that archbishop. You guys heard about that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just all of this, but they're treating it like this is new. What?
Right, and like everyone,
it's not new.
And Catholic families have always hidden their gay children, troubled children, like throw them in the priesthood. You know what I mean? It was kind of like, well, Let's just put them over there.
Yeah.
So there's so much fucked upness in that institution. People that should have genuinely received therapy went to the seminary. Is that the right word? I feel like it's dirtier than it should be.
It sounds.
right?
It sounds. Well,
Yeah.
because it sounds like another word that starts with an S.
All of a sudden, I feel like that shouldn't be on my tongue.
Wow.
Or should.
Wow.
But just not there.
We
In
will.
the seminary.
We will continue on with this and many other stimulating topics on the show. It's a Tuesday night. You're in studio with Marnie, Al. Tonight, it's Molly Montgomery with us. Molly's eating cookies like the rest of us because that's our drinking word.
Like it's a contest.
Yeah, no, it's right now. It's not. If you'd like to drink along with us, please do so. Every time you hear us say cookie or hear us take a drink of something, please do so.
Or fuck something up.
If you'd like to join us in the chat room, you can do that. Pinky just joined us. Pinky can see the beautiful Molly. We'll be back in just moments right here on QTalk
You've
America.
been listening to the show on QTalk America. This is QTalk America.
The following broadcast contains adult humor, language, and topics, along with partial nudity. Actual knowledge is used sparingly. The show is a result of a lost bet and a bad game of rock, paper, scissors. It's the show with Clayton McKee. And now, a man with a face for radio, Clayton McKee.
Again, trying to figure out how many buttons I've got to push to make this all happen is a little challenging. It's the show. It's hour 3, the beginning of hour 3. We do this each and every Tuesday night. We are here in studio. It's Marnie, Molly, Al, and myself. I'm Clayton McKee. Thank you for being here. We have, we're well into our drinking game. The drinking word, by the way, is cookie. Not just because they're fun and it's Girl Scout season. Marnie spent half her afternoon baking cookies.
Absolutely.
You know,
And my favorites, too. She did good. She done good.
Hey, thanks.
what I'm wondering about, Marnie, is the fact that you're on, and I agree with what Molly said when you walked in.
Yeah.
And we talked about it sometime a few weeks back.
Yeah.
You're on a self-dictated health kick. You're doing some good things for yourself.
Yeah.
So fuck you for bringing all these cookies in.
Seriously.
No
Well,
shit.
she eats a goddamn orange.
They're
Right.
sitting over there eating fruit and yogurt,
Right.
and I've eaten my weight in chocolate.
So here's the thing.
Yeah.
Even when I wasn't making those choices, I wouldn't have been a big cookie fan. What? Have a cocktail.
No, but
Yeah.
still.
You know, I don't know. It was an accident. It was,
Yeah.
you know.
All right.
These are
But
my,
I'll keep it up.
These are my weaknesses. The shortbreads from the Girl Scouts.
Sure, those are delicious.
Those are my favorites. Snickerdoodles. And you put peanut
I like,
butter on anything, I'll eat
What
it.
are the ones that have the coconut and the chocolate?
Samoas.
Macaroons?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hala. Oh, I love macaroons
Samoas,
as well.
yeah.
But
I
the
just
Samoas,
killed a whole box of those.
Put them in the
couple days ago.
freezer. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Put them in the freezer.
They did.
Anyway, enjoy the cookies.
Thanks. Well, yeah. I'll
They
get
say
on.
she right, but she don't right. Maybe she dead.
Once again, it's the beginning. It's hour 3. You can listen to us on the regular audio stream, or you can listen to us or watch us on the video, as you may be doing right now. We'd like to thank you for being in the chat room. Joe, Pinky, Mark, Marnie's in there too, even though she's in the studio with us. Tyler from Tennessee may still be with us. We're
That's
not
okay,
sure.
Mark.
Harrison was there. My mom is in there somewhere.
I may have lost Tyler with my John Williams bashing. That may have been the final insult to Tyler.
We're in just a few minutes. We're going to start our segment we do each and every hour 3 of every week. We call it Thoughtful Vulgarity, but in the meantime, we're still bagging on the Catholic. So, Marnie, continue on with your.
I love, I shouldn't. Well, I love bagging on the Catholics. So I don't know who the fuck I'm kidding.
Some of them
but-
like you when you teabag on the Catholics.
Hey,
but that's
hey,
tall.
hey,
Whoa. As long as you get a cookie.
Fair enough.
True story. That's a.
What
very
did you
true
want a
story.
list of, honey?
No, and I was just asking if you had a list of things you wanted to discuss.
Oh.
Molly's always got a list, I think.
So, and again, apparently this is a new story as of February 25th, 2013. This Catholic friar who apparently just came out of the seminary, like had been, in the backwoods of somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Homosexuality is the quote unquote the ticking time bomb of the Catholic Church.
Only if I don't
Really?
get laid soon.
Define soon, Al.
This goes actually with what you were talking about because they had
Something's gonna blow.
He's gay. This friar, this Mark.
I just walk past it.
Except I kind of feel like curling.
Yeah.
The end. But this gentleman is gay. And so he's coming out saying, they're all putting us in the seminary. Like, they're exactly what you just said.
Yeah.
And there was this whole, that last allegation of a secret kind of cable of gay priests that are called theVataliques.
Oh, like a WikiLeaks?
Absolutely.
Interesting.
So anyway, I thought that was
Are they part of Anonymous? Do we know?
I know people are pissed off at Anonymous, but
I
like what they're doing.
Absolutely.
I do not know.
I want to be part of them, but then I had to be anonymous.
Right.
And then you'd have to learn how to do
And you
computer
can't
stuff.
scream out Doug Wilkie at the top of your lungs.
That's true.
But it would be like, Doug Wilkie. You know what I mean? Because they do that thing with his voice.
Like
Right.
Michael Jackson.
Then they have to
Because
change it up.
V for Vendetta. Have you ever
Oh my
seen that?
God. Brilliant.
That reminds me of Anonymous. I don't know why, but
Totally.
every time I watch the movies, I
Yes.
think of V for Vendetta.
Totally.
Doug Wilkie!
Thank you. Can we make that my ringtone?
I want that.
I
I'm
would
with
never
Mark.
have a bad day.
I am
if
pretty
could
sure.
Have that for my
I'm pretty
ringtone.
sure. Well, Mark Martinez already wants it. I'm
Yeah.
sure we'll have to get it.
If Doug Wilkie wasn't afraid to call me,
Doug Wilkie!
I would want that to be my ringtone when he calls me. But I never hear it because all he does is text me. And he always says, like, I'm so afraid I'm going to wake you up.
We could also make it his text tone.
Oh, that'd be
That's
fun.
true. I think that would be
best.
fantastic.
Because that would scare everybody at work. If I was like,
Every
Doug
time.
Wilkie!
Every time somebody texts you, it screams out of your phone.
That would be fantastic.
Marnie! Clayton!
And
We gotta just have you.
Just to bore
we
you
need
out
all
with
of that.
minutia, I have a what is it, a cinder block house with all tile, so the whole fucking thing is an echo chamber.
Right.
Right,
So when
that's
you
true.
add my gentle, soothing voice,
Dulcet tones.
dulcet tones, exactly.
Dulcet tones.
So
Are
in
you killing
keeping with the gays, because
Yeah.
it's a gay network thing.
we are?
What I think so.
I think
I've
so,
heard
sure.
that somewhere. Right.
What?
Okay. Cookie?
So C. Everett Koop passed away.
Yes, I saw
Oh, yeah.
Former Surgeon General.
Yeah.
I wondered why they were playing his smoking deals lately.
Oh, that's
he's like, I have no authority anymore, but please knock it off. It's horrible.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And he was such a big deal when it came to that with the secondhand smoke.
The condoms.
And
Oh, that's true.
he
Condoms
got
was
fired
huge.
for suggesting condoms. He was kicked to the curb.
Absolutely.
But look
There
at
was
us now.
And there was a
I'm still not
huge-
wearing one.
Still not.
He started.
Jimmy hats everywhere.
He started the move toward prohibiting the smoking on airplanes, restaurants, workplaces, all that kind of stuff. And there was something in no. I'm going to get the date wrong, but he was perhaps best known for his work around HIV and AIDS.
Right.
He wrote a brochure about the disease that was sent to 107 million households in 1988. It was the largest public health mailing ever, according to the biography on
What-
him.
and-
So you know the Pope was after him too. I mean, different.
Had to
sure.
have been. Had to
Oh
have
my!
been.
Because he just came out with compassionate. The Pope just said that all right, they can use condoms in Africa because half the continent's dying of AIDS. So what did he call it? Compassionate Catholicism or something? I don't know.
It might be.
He dressed it up in some funny hat and dress. I mean,
Right. What did it say?
Have a cookie crust.
I'm sorry to interrupt. But
Again?
yeah, whatever.
Weird.
There's why go to the recording.
By the way, why did you think
That's
that?
why.
Why did you think we'd lose viewers as or however they self-identify, or listeners when you played all that about Al? Because I mean, clearly, all it is just him not talking here.
That's my question.
Was I worried about losing them?
Who the fuck are you going to get to fill in when he's gone that isn't going to leave us with an hour and a half of dead air?
I'm gonna simply play
Doug Wilkie!
the whole time.
Fabulous.
I have enough
Fabulous.
audio. Actually, I have about 25 minutes of audio just from the other night.
Wow.
Solid.
But
Yeah.
I like that you played only things that I would say sober. That's what makes it funny.
Oh well, there's some other things
Yeah, I
about
know.
who you're gonna fuck and whatnot.
But now, if they pick the next pope from Africa, now the big talk is: will the next pope come from Africa or will it come from Latin America?
No.
Because
Oh,
of
Latin
the big
America.
thing
Yeah,
about
because
Latin America,
because of the that's the one place where the Catholicism is spreading, and the other places where the HIV is spreading.
right?
So, do you think they'll change their tune since?
But they don't have any money.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I
So would
don't
he
know.
contribute?
Right.
So I mean, it's just one of
Oh,
those things.
are you saying they won't take somebody from Latin America because there's
Right.
not enough money pouring into the church, so they'll like, well, we're going to bring you in.
Exactly.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
brutal.
Yeah. But so
How
I'm-
very Christian.
Can you imagine we could potentially have a hot pope at some point from Latin America? I'd be excited about
There's
that.
something
Yes.
wrong
Still going to be
about that.
89 years
I was
old.
just going
Right.
to say the youngest they
What?
would ever go is 60s.
Fernando Lamas.
Oh, he might be age appropriate. So I just wonder that if they do.
Eric Estrada.
Ask
You
your
never
little
know.
friend in L.A.
Johnny Mathis,
So
if he was available.
go ahead. He's white.
No,
He's white,
Yeah,
yeah.
but still, if he could be a pope, I'm sure.
I always thought he was. I just found out recently.
I know that's what we keep saying because we've been
Yeah.
amused by
Okay.
that.
Yeah. It was here.
If you said it, Marnie, in your story,
Yeah.
what you were reading, I missed it. For some reason, remember how I said it many months ago in regards to like when Reagan died. To me, Reagan was the first president that I really grasped on. I was old enough to realize who he was, what was going on, even though I do realize that there was Nixon, Nixon, Carter, Ford, blah, blah, blah. But even though that's backwards, I realize that. I just was grouping them all together, like saying Washington, Lincoln, and
No, I get it.
Eisenhower.
No.
So I didn't do anything in order. What year did he become Surgeon General?
05.
Yeah, I was going to say
It was
84,
that late?
85.
05, 06, yeah.
So,
'cause-
but he was still in the Reagan administration, or did Reagan?
Yes.
Wait, was that right?
Wait,
85.
what?
I thought it was 84.
Who are we talking about?
Sierra
Coop. I thought it was 85.
Oh, C.
84.
Everett. I'm so sorry. C.
Hold on.
Everett. I thought you meant this current pope.
Oh no.
1982. 1982.
Okay, so he basically
82 to 89.
He was my Reagan era. Okay, that's
Yes,
why.
and he
'cause
got
to
the
me,
boot from Bush because he said condom. The minute he said condom,
But the,
Yeah, it's a
Kick to the
short
curb.
lived
right, but that's why I associate him as being like quote like my Surgeon General
No.
because I put him in the same hopper with Reagan only from the standpoint of that was when I was old enough to understand what was going on.
I have to tell you, I can't name.
no,
Who
and
it is? I
but
have no
he
idea.
really did take that job and really ran with it. Like
As
Oh,
far
yeah.
as
I don't. I
as
wasn't
a
it?
Surgeon General.
was Elders
Oh.
after him? Jocelyn Elders?
I honestly
I think
I
don't
don't know, and that's another one. I think he was the one that
I'll
he
look
stepped
it
up
up.
and he,
Yeah,
he
are
did
you?
so much.
I'll look it up.
Yeah, he did so much with that. But I just remember and that was where the backlash came even harder on Bush the First, who might have had a shot of winning some compassion points. But the minute he buckled and fired Coop for the condom thing, you were just like, we're doomed. Like there can never be you'll never have an honest discussion about safe sex or disease prevention if the Surgeon General's not allowed to put out.
Right, as long as
Say
say
the word condom.
But that's the problem is that whole HIV and AIDS, they weren't looking at it as safe
I-
sex, and they
I
weren't
was either-
looking, it was just gay, those gay people.
Right. And I was either too young or from too small a town and obviously not a student of history, that the only thing I remember about the plague in those years were the Rock Hudson jokes.
You're right.
Literally,
Oh, okay.
the only thing I remember.
But that's the only reason they
I
got.
had no idea till I went to college at 17
Sure.
in Milwaukee, a big city,
Yep.
about ACT UP or even that we were even fighting
Right.
to
Right.
be acknowledged. 17. That
Sure.
was 1992. Had no
Our,
idea.
Yeah, and then you just come full steam with Clinton just barreling his way in. But
our first Surgeon General.
And then there's Madeleine Albright with the whole masturbation thing. Do you remember that?
I always think that's Coop too. But Madeleine Albright was one that suggested masturbation as a
Right.
way to curb violence, sexual violence. Right?
remember that.
If they just went home and masturbate, which is good advice. If you're feeling sexually aggressive, rub one off.
Then take a nap. You'll be happy.
Just grab yourself a
Except that-
protein drink.
But right, and that's the one thing that it's got a little bit like for teen sex. It might keep you away from teen sex. Like masturbate more, encourage
absolutely.
masturbation.
Yes,
but
If
rape
you're
is
a
an act of
teenager-
violence, not an act of
Thank
sex.
you.
Like that's
Thank you. That
that's
has
where
nothing to do with sexual violence.
Sure.
nothing at all to do.
So we've had our first Surgeon General was in 1871, John Woodworth, and then it went through a succession of other people, and then we got
Obviously,
Coop.
Bobby Kennedy.
Coop.
No, he was Attorney
Was
General.
it? Oh, he was
Attorney
Attorney
No.
General.
Oh.
God, I'm so stupid. I was thinking that. I was thinking Surgeon General.
A little bit of abuse of executive
Yeah.
powers. Like they're
Oh,
not
totally.
Wow,
Yeah.
I totally forgot about this.
Okay.
So
I really did. I'm so
Everett Coop
stupid.
was 82 to 89, and then Antonia Novello from 90 to 93, and I
Nothing.
don't remember her at all. But Jocelyn Elders was 93 to 94, 1 year.
Yeah.
She was there, and then we had David Satcher, no idea who he
Yep.
was, and then Richard Carmona was after that.
Oh, sure,
because Richard
okay.
Carmona's
And
from
didn't
here.
remember him at all as being
Right.
until he ran here.
Yeah, and that's the
Didn't
only reason I
remember him at all.
recognize
So then-
that name as well.
Right.
So then is
Voted for him.
Yep.
If you're
Ditto.
listening,
Ditto.
Dr.
So then,
Carmona, I voted for you.
So then, is Regina Benjamin? She's the current one? Is she the one? Did she come in 06?
I have
absolutely
no idea.
Never even heard that.
Then
name.
again, I thought Bobby Kennedy was one as well.
No,
so.
you didn't. You just confused
The
them.
current
Yeah.
one,
Nomenclature.
the current one. She's the
stupid.
18th Surgeon General of the United States. Whoops, there's
And
that.
they don't always fill the position. I'm sure if you're looking at that list, there'll be like year gaps. Like they don't
Maybe.
always
I'm just
fill
looking
it.
at the
Oh,
website.
okay.
I would think so
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
But the smoke, and it's strange that the Surgeon General got on board like long before Coop. That was the one thing that the Surgeon General just kept pushing was smoking. And kept getting resistance, and I think that's why a lot of them would get the boot. Was the tobacco lobby?
Lobbyists.
Oh,
Yeah.
The tobacco
Get
lobby was
them
so
outta here.
huge.
Sure.
But they kept trying because I don't know if you've ever seen cigarettes from any other country, and they're like, "This will kill you." And in Canada, that warning's been on there a long time.
Okay.
So
Well,
the
yeah,
fact
but
that
we
ours
had the
just
Marlboro
mildly
Man,
say
and we
like,
had it
yeah.
right. I mean, you had commercials.
But then didn't
Well-
John Wayne do some PSAs?
Yes, at the
Towards
end.
the end?
At the end.
Towards the end,
Yes.
yeah.
They also, something that was interesting, kind of just tying into more recent, the Super Bowl. And I know that you said that you weren't able to see a bunch of the commercials, but Erin was livid, or Ernie, however she self-identifies. I'm going to get my ass kicked for that one. But she was livid
Give her a
watching that. Right.
Oh,
Just
there was
because the what is
Electric
his name?
cigarette.
Stephen Dorff.
Right.
yeah, but he's doing electric
But it's the
cigarettes.
No,
electric
he
cigarette.
is.
Oh.
But the thing is that if you watch that commercial, there is everything. If you are a smoker or trying to quit, that is enticing.
Yeah, they
And
did.
for kids, that was her deal.
Yeah.
They made it, whether it's an electric cigarette or not, they made it look very glamorous or just kind of very, the rugged, tough guy.
Yeah.
Smoking
Stephen
is
Dorff.
glamorous.
And
I just don't think so.
Glamorous as
No,
fuck.
no,
where I
don't think
work
so.
is a completely non-smoking facility, and it's a giant campus. So
It's the biggest restaurant in
Ever.
town.
Yeah,
Ever.
and
It
it's-
is the
it's,
biggest restaurant.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
and
a
it's
huge-
funny because I see the restaurant employees always standing there on McDowell.
Yeah, but you have
at
to
the-
go a great
yeah.
distance to have a cigarette, and I work on the 11th floor, so you got it's a long elevator ride. That's a long
Yeah.
walk.
You have to really want that.
And I worked with somebody who was an addict. I mean, just could not make it through an hour without a cigarette.
Yeah.
And then we were kind of like, you can't leave that much.
Right.
Like this is not
Right.
this is not a job where you can just walk away for extended strolls through the city of Phoenix. Well, then at work he started bringing the electric cigarettes.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that
How
looked
did that go?
horrible.
Yeah, I can believe it.
because it looks real.
Everything about it.
Everything
Remember,
about
you-
it looks real.
I had to convince my best friend today in a restaurant
Yep.
that it was okay for her to vape inside
Yeah.
the restaurant,
Yeah.
that she didn't have to go outside.
Well,
Oh, how
because
hip that
everything
sounds.
because
So
you're,
hip,
you're
vaping.
holding
She
it
just
the
got it
same.
today.
The end
looks
lights
the
up.
same, yeah,
Everything.
everything.
It'll let off vapor, so it
Well,
looks like
for all of us who've worked in the
Because
bars,
it's got all the cues
you
that
can
you
do it on
need.
Yep.
Yeah.
airplanes.
all of us who've worked in the bars for so many years, that I forget what year it was that smoking was stopped in inside bars in Arizona.
2006.
Okay,
yeah,
so we've
it was
got-
right after I got done at the
Just
desk.
after I left
Yeah.
Okay,
working in the bars.
So 06 to now is 12. So we're looking at 7 years almost. That's been
It's
out.
2013 for a while now.
Yep.
So we're okay again. 7 years.
I know, just kidding. You said it was 2012. I just wanted to point out the
No,
atomic
I was
clock.
I was doing the math. No, 6 to 12 is 6 and 1 is 7. Shut up. I have public
It's
school.
European math.
Yeah. Sometimes I
He's
get it.
doing that in
Chinese
kilometers.
math.
Right. Double it at 30, it's metric. Fuck you. Anyway, the point of it was somebody showed up at Charlie's. I don't know. This has probably been a couple weeks ago, and it's that cue you were talking about. The cues. All of a sudden, we've been so trained for so many years now. We don't see it. Number one. Number two. If anytime you ever see anybody in a bar that's doing this,
Yep.
or you see the butt on the end of a cigarette, everybody goes into fucking lose
Right.
their mind, get them out of the building.
Yeah.
You can't have it in here. So the other day I'm walking through and somebody's sitting at the bar vaping, if you will, and I was like, "What the fuck? Wow, that's
Yeah.
weird."
Yeah.
It just seemed very odd to me.
I was literally the first one to have one at Cash In, and I used to freak people out because the one I had looked exactly like a cigarette, lit up red on the tip, and I would light it up, blow it out, and then stick it on my arm. People would freak the fuck out. It was awesome. Yeah.
And you knew the culture was changing when. Now you said you didn't used to watch Sex and the City, or you did?
I did not.
Sex and the City. She was a smoker.
Who was?
Carrie Bradshaw, the
Oh,
lead
okay.
character. She was
didn't
a
know that.
hardcore smoker,
Okay.
and it was. That's when you knew the change was coming, when you were constantly startled by the fact that she was always, and she was a chain smoker, like the first 3 seasons. And then when she quits because of a guy, and she has to do it, and there's this whole fight, and she goes back to the guy just for a cigarette.
Sure.
She has sex with a guy just because, I just want to smoke again. And it was, but you knew the culture was changing, and this was like 98 to 2001, that now if you see somebody smoking in a movie, you're like, ooh.
Yeah, but now the interesting thing with that is having not smoked, chosen not to smoke for going on 4 years in April. Yeah, I think it'll be 4 years. I see that now. Like, I wonder if
it kills me to watch Mad Men.
See, now that's the thing. For some folks, they see it. And for you, I think for my mom, that just using the two of you as an example, like you see it, and does it make you want to have a cigarette or think about it?
Every second of my day. And today, when I was stressed the fuck out when I got home and saw the window, I asked my best friend for a drag. And instead of the real cigarette, she gave me the e-cigarette, and I took a drag, and that was it. That's all I wanted.
Yeah.
I still keep 2 packs of cigarettes in my house. They're like my whoopee. Like, I feel like if I'm not panicking about not having access to one, then I'm calm about it.
Yeah.
It's if I don't have any in the house and I think, oh God, what if I needed one right now?
Right.
That's what will drive me insane.
Sure.
And that's the one vice I don't know how I missed it. Like, I honestly
I
don't
only
know.
quit
I'm the
3
same
months
as you.
It was all over my family. Everyone in my,
Never.
like,
Yeah.
none of the women in my particular family smoked, but everybody else around us smoked.
The funny smoking story that I have, because I remember growing up, and it was, I guess probably because I primarily, well, like all of us, I really grew up in the 80s where it was, it was Nancy Reagan with the Just Say No, and then that was really when the seatbelts all came out, and there were so many things that were there that they got ingrained in younger kids' heads to really be the proponents of, and one of them, aside from the seatbelt thing, was I remember the no smoking, and again, I'm like you. I was raised in my grandparents' nightclub. Everybody in my family smoked. So I don't really know how I missed it, even though just from I just never cared. Now I say it's because I don't want to ruin my teeth. But I remember my grandfather, and again, this is an older man who started smoking when he was like 10, 11, 12, somewhere like very young up in Wyoming. But he was of the time he would go buy his papers and he would buy the cans of tobacco and roll his own. His theory was, though they weren't filtered, because he took the time to roll them, he smoked less.
A lot of you hear that. You hear that
I
so
smoked
often.
The little tiny ones.
Yeah,
because
that it slows you down.
Yeah.
When
Grandpa always rolled fatties. I'm not sure why, but he did.
Yeah. I roll my own, but they're huge.
They're the biggest cigarettes.
I remember when my dad quit. We met up in Vegas, and he smoked.
Was this the gin story?
Oh, this was a little bit later.
That was a great story. Why is all the gin gone?
And we're sitting there.
I don't know. Ask your sister.
And it took me a while to realize what was different. And I'm like, you haven't had a cigarette. And my mom was like, yeah, he quit cold turkey and it smoked since he was like 10 or 11 years old, and like smoked till he was like 63.
But was there a defining moment?
Because when all the grandchildren were born, and that whole thing about not smoking around babies, they kept making him go outside. He smoked outside once in a snowstorm.
Fuck this.
And seriously said,
That's
I'm
awesome.
fucking done.
Yeah, I'm done. Fuck you. I'm not doing that again.
And just no hesitation. I think he said he had one cigarette afterwards and was like, nah, I like the kids better.
Oh, that's
which is amazing. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty fascinating. And that whole just quit cold turkey thing always astounds me. Always fucking astounds me.
He stayed drunk though, so that might have helped.
Well, that could have.
Well, my mom.
But see, that would have driven me to have more.
My mom did the same thing. My mom did the same thing.
That's right.
When she, I mean, now granted, I'm not saying she over my lifetime and her obviously hers because she's still with us. She quit. She quit a few different times, and for whatever reason, and I don't know because I was never in that boat. Right. For whatever reason, she did start up again here and there. But mom has always been, and I don't even know how many years it's been now. It's got to be more than 10. I have no idea how long it's been since mom, but it's got to be way more than 10.
Yeah.
But yeah, and literally, mom's that way. It's like a light switch, just done, and she just stops.
That's what I did too this last time, and hopefully it sticks. But I feel like it was part of my personality.
Sure.
Even like I loved to smoke, and I always had one in my hand, and since I'm 11, I did it.
And the younger people that I work with, because I realize I have the same job as like 22-year-olds, they'll see something like, oh, marijuana. I'm like, shut the fuck up, calm down. And then they'll be like, oh, it was a heavy smoker. I'm like, relax. Half the country was a heavy smoker before you were born. Like, you're 22, but it's just like this culture. Like they don't even realize that everyone used to smoke everywhere.
It's so stupid, but I feel
smoke
less
and then drink and
ladylike.
drive and do barbiturates and
And don't
hallucinogens.
wear a seatbelt.
Right.
And
There was some. There were no
hold a child on your lap while you're driving, smoking the cigarette.
Right.
drunk.
Right.
And pregnant.
And pregnant.
And
That's right.
pregnant was the
That's
next one.
That's right. Going through the liquor drive-through.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
Eating a Big Mac.
Right. With no
Yeah.
airbags.
At all. Nothing.
Like
Uphill
my
both
mom was
ways.
always mad.
in the snow.
And one headlight out.
Uphill both ways.
But it's true. I mean, crazy shit.
My
Crazy
mom
shit.
was like, my family was never mad at me. They were mad at me because I wouldn't call or come home. They were never mad that I was drunk driving all over New York State and underage, because they kept changing the drinking age. So just when I was almost there, they would change the drinking age. Like when I turned 18, it switched to 19. When I turned 19, it turned.
I remember you
I
talking
loved,
about that.
I loved smoking with my dad when I was a teenager. Like I just thought it was the coolest thing, you know. And
I was an athlete going all from little whatever, and my parents both smoked, and I would come home and every fucking day, you're going to kill me with that secondhand smoke. I'm gonna die, and I would be very dramatic about the entire thing.
Too, with my
and
dad.
I was gonna die.
Wore a
The
button
end.
that said "smoking stinks"
Right.
when I would go out with him.
I love it. I love it. Like, stop doing that.
Right.
And then I found out some interesting news about graduation, and I all of a sudden I'm sitting there with my friend Eddie Karen on my bed in my bedroom, and I'm like, give me a cigarette. And he had Marlboro Reds of all things, and he's like, okay, and he didn't.
So you went right
twice
to a
about it.
man's. Oh, you went right there.
Apparently, I did.
Yeah.
And all of a
It's
sudden,
Marnie Bacall.
I know.
All of a sudden.
It's B. Ryer.
B. Ryer. Oh, that's brilliant.
Nice.
is
That was
brilliant.
good.
And
Brenda Vaccaro for
that's-
Playtex Tampa.
That's right. And I'm sitting there and I'm smoking the cigarette. Mom comes around the corner and she, being consoling. She's being my mom, the same person, just not drunk anymore. And looks up and is like, honey, everything is, what the fuck are you doing? And I'm like,
hypocrite.
Totally. And I'm like, what? I don't know, whatever. And I'm taking a drag of the cigarette. I thought, my bad. Sorry, let me just put that up.
Yeah.
But it was, and then I started. 18, done.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
of where your mind can go to, like, being that adamantly opposed to something, and that against it, there was never anything that was like, ooh, that smells good.
Never was my deal.
Yeah, no. And I'm so excited for both
my
of
family
you.
didn't,
Right.
until they
You guys
passed
are
a law,
so
my family
lucky.
didn't do anything. We never wore a seatbelt, but the minute that became a law in New York State, my dad was like, we are not getting tickets for this shit.
Right.
Oh, sure.
Seatbelt
Sure.
up. And now, like, I won't even leave. Like, we drove and when we saw Dreamgirls, and I have such bad PTSD.
Yeah, I
and we're
can believe
leaving
it.
Dreamgirls. It's kind of raining. We go to his mom's house. Up the freeway, and I'm in the back seat having a full-on panic attack. Because first it's raining, we're driving a little too fast for me in the back seat, and then his mom didn't have a seatbelt off, and I was like, "Please stop the car! Please stop the car!" Like I just wanted to be
Because
like,
mom won't wear one.
she won't wear one, and I'm like, anywhere you can let me off during this drive, I will walk home from. Like, just I'll break down lane, I'll get there. Like I'm so freaking out.
What's her argument for not wearing?
Doesn't want to get trapped in the car should there be an accident.
And honestly, that was always my deal. My dad was paralyzed from the waist down, not because of an accident, but I saw his struggles, and I thought, no, I'm not doing that.
I'm taking my chances.
And my deal now, a friend of mine, just my friend Durrett at home, just asked me to promise her. She was so emotional about it, and it was a friend of hers, their son, some horrific shit happened, and she's like, just promise me. Like, I don't give a shit what else you do. Just please wear your seatbelt. And she just kind of kept doing it. Now it's second nature.
As soon as it became a law, just
I'm just glad that Ernie made you stop texting and driving.
Ernie gets a little upset about that.
I have a couple friends that just drives me nuts, and I'll yell at him. I'm like, I am the passenger in this car. You will drive.
Oh my God.
Only.
Oh
You
my
will
God! If
only
somebody
drive.
was texting with my fear of being in a car now, if you started texting while you were driving,
you're like, you can wrap the seatbelt around you. I
would
care.
crawl out the window. And
No,
just die.
You should see me in the car with her. I'm like, can I do that for you? Can I do that for you?
No, you might.
But the iPhone broke me of that habit. The iPhone really did because I cannot text on that thing.
My girlfriend
Fat fingers.
and
All I would
BFF
send was like
both
F.
text and drive.
you might call me. You might say it's wrong, but I'm willing to do it if I'm stopped at a light. If I
Sure,
roll to it and I'm
sure.
stopped, I will
yeah.
respond.
Oh,
I will do something.
yeah.
But other than that, no, I'm not doing all that horseshit. In reference to the seatbelt thing, my mother's father, and I'm sure I've told all of you the story, but the proud moment that I had with him in regards to seatbelts, because he was of the same way. You know, I'm going to smoke less because I roll my own cigarettes, though it's not filtered. Yada yada yada. But he never understood and appreciated why seatbelts were important at all. So one time I took him out. Now, granted, we're in Southwest Missouri. There were many areas where there's long lengths of highway where there's nothing forever. So I said, okay, I will take you out and I'll drive you around and I will show you how these work and why they're important to you. And he's like, all right. So we get in the car, and they just bought a 91 Cadillac at the time. So get him in the car, strap him in, we take off. And this is back, he's actually smoking in the car with me. So it's, you know, but he thought that the central air conditioning in the car took the smoke
That's
right
right.
away
I
from you.
remember that.
Oh,
That
my
was
God.
when he
Yeah.
told me that. I thought that was fantastic.
Right. So we're rolling, and I told him, I'm like, we're going to just drive, and I'm going to stop, and I'm not going to tell you when it's going to be, and you're going to understand how it works. And literally, and I let him go for 20, 30 minutes, no idea. We're doing about, 80 or probably 70, 80 miles an hour down an old highway. All of a sudden, I just locked it up and stopped that car, and he did the Superman thing where you're flying through the car with the, and he's like, God damn. And from that on, he was fine. He realized that it did actually restrain you. Otherwise, he would have gone right through that fucking windshield and or right into the dashboard. Yeah. But he realized it. And I was always proud of that because my grandfather was actually...
he was a bus driver.
He was a bus driver. He'd logged over 3 million miles without an accident in a bus.
There's nobody in... The people in the back of the bus, none of them are wearing seatbelts. So you would get the impression that, it must be safe. I'm driving... all these people, and there's not a seatbelt on a bus.
Right, but that was obviously back in the day.
I don't, you know what? I don't wear a seatbelt, and I just started like 2, maybe 3 years ago in the back of cabs. I would never put on a seatbelt.
That's the first thing I do.
I would do that.
But then I always remember the Princess Diana rule, and actually, the people that I know that have been hurt the worst in accidents, and I didn't know Princess Diana
personally. You didn't know her?
Back seat, no seatbelt, dead, and
Diana,
then both people in the back seat in the accident last year in Colorado. Both the people in the back seat were hurt the worst. Both in seatbelts, and they were hurt worse than because there was no airbags.
No airbags in front of them.
Okay. Yeah, the people in the back seat were hurt way worse. But remember the old, like the Saturns when they first came out, had the automatic seatbelt?
Right.
Well, then they found out that because most people weren't putting on a lap belt, they would forget that next part.
Right
you slide right through and got hung, and it was like breaking people's necks.
Right.
Like all the horrors.
I didn't even think about that.
Like the first airbags that were like killing kids and knocking. Sometimes safety's not all the way thought out. Right.
It is 9:30. It's hour 3 on the show.
I had a lot of mileage out of that for no reason.
We did. Well, I think it was an important topic. It's hour 3.
Oh, wait a minute. It was thoughtful, but not vulgar. Fuck.
Not yet.
Cookies.
We'll get there. Well, now it is time to go into our final thoughtful segment of our show. We do it each and every Tuesday, and you can follow along if you're not already. I encourage you to do so, and we'll start that right now.
And now, Thoughtful Vulgarity, where we, in the studio, try to make ourselves slightly less shallow, which is not hard to do. We will ask one question of the panel and have them try to answer it while fucked up drunk. Because you know at home how well it goes when an important question comes up 90 minutes after alcohol has been served. Politics, religion, why not? You're fucked up. What could possibly go wrong? Who could you offend? You've been warned. Good luck.
All right. The worst part is it's going to be an echo because you're going to play it. I'm going to scream it. So, what would be your favorite, tradition? What's your favorite?
Racism. Next caller.
Well, that was thoughtful and vulgar. I enjoyed it.
All in one.
Next caller. We're stealing that. That just be
Cincinnati, are you there?
What was her name? Marge Schottenheimer?
Right, Marge Schatz.
Adolf Hitler had some good ideas.
That was pretty
Next caller. Oh my sweet baby Jesus! Oh, and that fucktard from Tennessee, not Tyler.
Oh my God.
The guy that did the no gay,
No,
don't say gay.
Yeah.
Have you? Okay, so now I just heard what he said about, because he's on some kind of science committee, and he said that he wasn't sure, but he thought that the way that HIV came about was that somewhere in Africa somebody got drunk and had sex with a monkey, and they were an airline pilot, and then they spread it all over the world. Find it. It's a true story. And hopefully Tyler will tell us what the guy's name in Tennessee. No, but that was what he thought. I mean, talk about combining like deforestation with like interaction of humans into all of us. Oh my God. And a flight attendant is patient zero. Talk about getting every fact wrong.
Right.
But getting 2 words right. Airline and monkey.
Oh my God.
But he was committed to his belief.
Yeah. But he kept saying, I think this is what someone told me one time. Yeah, struck by this story.
Yeah. God love him.
So aside from racism, what...
That was very organic, Molly.
That was very funny.
Next caller.
What's your favorite tradition that you keep going like now as an adult?
Wow.
Like, what's your favorite thing that you've...
That's deep.
Why it's thoughtful vulgarity.
State Senator Stacey Campfield.
Yes.
According to Tyler.
Nice. Thanks, Tyler.
Next caller.
Oh gosh. I don't know.
Like, do you and your
Do I have to go first?
Well,
Marnie's hiding in the corner.
Every time you guys get up to go potty, I think, man, I gotta pee, and then I never do.
Yeah.
So
would you like to go now?
it's
Because
too late.
Marnie's
No.
back. We could go first with Marnie.
No, because now it's
Fun
9:30.
in here.
No.
Yeah.
I'm funny.
We're taking-
That's all I know.
Yeah,
You're
it's all
okay.
We're taking callers now. We're looking for next caller.
Well done.
When you listen back, you'll understand how funny that is.
I can believe it.
It really is funny.
All right, so what's your favorite tradition that you keep going? What's the thing
have
that
all
you...
of 'em.
Yeah. What's
keeps
your
all of
favorite
them.
one
She's
that you
OC
keep going?
Yeah, she's OCD with that.
What you mean, like the holiday?
Any
Any
tradition.
tradition.
Like, what tradition do you...
Once I start something, that's going to continue. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter what it is. I don't look at me. I'm not understanding.
But what's your favorite one? What's the one that you like look forward to the most, or the one you put the most work into?
I think
Thanksgiving.
yeah, exactly. That's exactly where I was going with that.
No,
Because
the
you
day
do
after,
the day after.
Thanksgiving.
And why?
When we first moved down here from Minnesota, Thanksgiving was always important. Family, this, that, the other back home. It also typically runs into my birthday at some point. I was born on Thanksgiving Day. But in moving down here, all of a sudden the people that we had met and become closest to had their own families and their own things going on Thanksgiving. So we were like, okay, well. And we would go to different homes and do whatever, and that was always
Do you ever bring a
lovely. Sometimes. But then it became people wanted to come to our house after the Brenda and Robbins and that especially them and come over, and then we met people that didn't have families in Arizona, the PWFAs.
Yeah.
People without families in Arizona, and so just thought I'd help some people out.
Next acronym, Jesus.
Yeah.
All right.
And so that it just kind of built from there. Like all of a sudden people were coming over on Thanksgiving night, stuffed to the gills, but wanting mom's food, and wanting to eat again and have more and just be a part of it and be there. So we finally said, well, this is pretty fucking stupid. Why don't we do it on Friday, and we'll have the whole day on Friday, and we'll just take it from start. Most people have Friday off.
Right, exactly.
Right.
Day after, and so we'll just do that, and we'll make it a whole day of it and have a shit show. And
you can take the pressure off.
You can take the pressure
Yeah,
off. People can go home and not be sick to their stomach and not be,
not have to run to 7 different family members' houses.
Right.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite days of the year.
Yeah.
Is day after Thanksgiving at Marnie's.
Yeah. Oh, that's sweet. Yeah, it's so much fun.
It's a good time.
And people everybody making it our big family.
Yeah.
People bringing things, and so you're trying new things, and it's wonderful. Yeah. So that would be the one that it doesn't matter. That's the one where we want to just make it a big deal and have a really nice time. So, and everyone's always more than welcome.
listeners.
Or however you
By
self-identify.
Tyler,
Get here.
get on a plane.
Yeah, get on a plane. That'll be over your Thanksgiving break. I like it. So that's it. The end.
That's exactly what I thought you were going to say.
Yeah.
It really is.
It's such a neat day. Such a neat day.
Molly, you've stalled long enough.
You know, I'm trying to think, and
Making me that almond cake at Christmas.
that is a new tradition, but now it's second year in a row that has been.
Son of a bitch.
That's a good.
I'm not
Son of
making
a
that
bitch.
shit up.
That's
I
a
don't
good cake. That's a good cake.
fucking cookies. I'm telling you right now. I will give up every good thing I've done since August to have some more of that cake.
It's a good cake.
I tried my hand at bulimia recently.
I'm a half a
Just real recently.
Threw the pillow away.
I can't
Next
get
caller.
I can't get the other half down. I've got the first half of bulimia nailed.
Yeah.
I can't do the second part.
I always say I'm an amnesiac bulimic.
Yeah.
I forget to throw up.
Exactly. Yeah. I was trying to listen and think at the same time, and I'm no good at multitasking.
Multitasking is difficult. I realize it.
The only grandparents I had growing up were my dad's parents. So when I think of like holiday gatherings when I'm little, it's my dad's mom, who's Jewish. I don't know what that has to do with it, but there are certain foods that are traditional to what she would make when I was little, but I can't think of anything. All I think are holidays, and I don't even know if I have any traditions per se around holidays. So my girlfriend and I are very new, so we haven't made any yet, I don't think.
Well, that gives you something to look forward to.
Exactly. Although I think Sedona Christmas lights might be our new one.
Yeah.
We started that one this
At
year.
the Botanical Gardens?
No, Sedona.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I missed that word.
Yeah.
Up at Tlaquepaque. Yeah. I missed that word.
Totally missed the city.
Yeah.
The locale was new.
Yeah.
No.
So, yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
I'm drawing a blank. I'll probably think of 12 of them when I'm
Well, and I
asleep
think
tonight.
that you make a great point that as far as you and Kathy being newer, I mean, just the idea that it takes a little bit, Aaron and I will be 2 years in April, and we're still working. Like our big thing would be Christmas cookies, right? We went a little overboard this last year, but, like trying to establish those traditions.
These are just reheats?
Those have been in the freezer since December, sure, yeah.
And it works well.
Why
Try
do
it again.
why do you think I have a Pope mobile and crosses and chalices? And
That's really the Jesus mobile, right? You just changed the
Totally.
Pope mobile for this? Yeah, I
I
gotcha.
did.
Next caller.
Mr. McKee?
Younger, there were more, I think, than there are now for me. Used to be back home. We would always, it was everybody in the family always gathered at my grandparents' house for Christmas Eve. That was always the deal. Then Christmas Day was at we were at our house and my cousins were theirs and yada, yada, yada. But obviously, since they don't participate as much anymore because they're dead.
Still.
Well, they're there.
That always fucks with tradition.
It changes so much.
Who
It
makes
does.
the jello?
So for me,
Right, yeah.
so for me, there's
Who puts up the tree?
that's gone, and I think with them, because it used to be like Tyler said, he likes the Easter egg hunts. Used to be when we would do that every year at their house as well. But with the removal of them and everything changing as far as like even my geography of being out here as opposed to back there, it all just changed greatly for me. And I think part of it for me was that work always seemed to have something to do with. Everything I've seemed to always be involved with, and it involves doing a show or being involved with something that was on one of those holidays. Well, again, we've all worked in bars, so that never stops. So just because it's Christmas Eve doesn't mean that there's not some special event at your venue that you're going to have to be there to work in. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, I've never worked anywhere where something was closed.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's always.
I still don't know
yeah.
what to do on New Year's Eve. I still have every year since I've worked in the bars have no idea what to do with myself because I don't want to be in the bars because I was
you're
there
there
for
all the
so
time.
many years.
Yeah.
So I think for me, it's really changed. And I don't even get into the holidays at all, like I used to at all. So they really don't mean as much to me. And that goes for all holidays, period. I mean, obviously, because of the Irish background and just because it's a free, get out of jail free card, we all drink on St. Patrick's Day, and I paint my hair green. Okay,
Right.
so maybe that's one of my traditions is I paint my hair green, and everybody goes, how do you do that?
And all this.
Right, all that,
Yeah.
all my goatee and everything, eyebrows too, all that. Which that's coming up
I
next
love
month,
that.
by the way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
get that ready.
It's I buy in bulk. It's already
absolutely.
I want to have a big party. Just for the record, I would like to do something big for
on a
St. Patrick's
Saturday,
Day.
if I'm not mistaken.
It's
Saturday?
it's a Sunday.
Oh, it's a Sunday.
Yeah. But we could day drink. That'd be okay with me for the people who have to get up on Monday. For some reason this year, I really want to do it big. I even bought a shirt.
Oh, well, that means
And
something.
what color is it?
Next caller.
Yeah.
No, but I said what color? I just got that. Thank you. But I think the only thing that I would say, unless you guys know something or have remembered more than I have, the only thing that right now I think is a tradition that would be with my mom and I is that every Christmas she doesn't do traditional Christmas meals. Like we do the traditional Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And that's all well and good. But every year, and this has been for years, she surprises me every year with whatever the menu is going to be for Christmas dinner.
Oh, right.
Like she'll do Italian or we'll do Mexican or she'll come up with, it's never traditional. It's never the turkey and the traditional stuff. So I think that's kind of really been the only real tradition that I think is consistent or still going on because quite frankly, it sounds cold and to say it, I just really don't care about all the other. It's always, to me, it's always just a pain in the ass to do all the other bullshit to me. It just really is. Sure. So that's it. But I think that as far as any tradition that's current really going on, I'd have to say it's mom and that surprise of a meal.
No,
That's
I like
fun.
that.
And I know she loves
fun.
and she loves it because she loves to surprise me with whatever it's going to be.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I thought
she should.
of one
Okay.
and one that I would like to start.
Okay.
If I can go off a little bit. It's a Wonderful
No,
Life.
only Al can do that.
It's a Wonderful Life is my
Yeah.
favorite movie, period. So I watch it a couple of times during the year, but I have to see it close to Christmas. I have to watch White Christmas while I'm putting up the tree. And believe it or not, this used to be my tradition, and I would like to bring it back, would be Midnight Mass on Christmas Eve.
Oh, I love
candlelight service.
So now, Al, I know we're going to turn to you in regards to this tradition. Now, I'm gonna say top of your list is your Oscars party.
Maybe not anymore.
Oh no.
Oh no,
Just kidding.
That'll be
No,
fun.
especially listening to that, like we did everything I thought I was gonna do. Nothing about that surprised me at all. I was like, it's one of those things. Like I always tell people, you can't get me drunk and talk about Dreamgirls because you know where it's going. And if you get me drunk and we get to the Oscars, we're gonna get to Jessica Lange and Meryl Streep and the greatest year of the Oscars ever. Damn it, I can't find the movie. My Christmas movie is there's a version of
I thought it was
a Christmas Carol that I love, and I thought it was from '38, but I guess it's an older version. I thought it had Alistair Sim.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But I just can't find that version on IMDb. But it's not Christmas until I see that black and white version of A Christmas Carol.
Sure.
And I just
love it. Creepy and sentimental all at the same time.
Black and white, all the right notes.
Although, did you see the Jim Carrey Jim Carrey Disney animated version?
Yes.
I thought I would hate it, and I really, really enjoyed it.
Well, I enjoyed him in The Grinch Who Stole Christmas too. What if it's a cash bar? What if no one likes me? What if it's a cash bar? That one of the most quotable lines of any movie. But mine is not. And it's not just the Oscars. And Marnie missed this. My favorite part about anything, and that's why I always tell people like a time to get there that has nothing to do with, like, I hate when I say dinner's at 6 and people show up at 6. Like, that's why I say to come over like after 5. I mean, like, I want you to come over and be part of
The prep.
putting it all together. Not cooking or anything, but that's the time with, like, I have the cheese and crackers out and we would make the blender drinks when there's
champagne
no
portion. Right.
Well, not just that, but because that's when you get to know everybody. Because that's when my cousins would come over, and you would just kind of sit around and chit chat while everything was cooking. And
you know what I loved when I was a kid is falling asleep while your parents. Like falling asleep in the living room while your parents are still partying, and like just hearing the
God,
chatter.
is that hysterical? I never fell asleep.
Laughter.
I was always listening.
Or doing the floor show,
Right.
Or that. You're absolutely right.
It was just like such a comforting
it was.
Yeah.
Sure.
But that is one of my favorite things about, and I will start being more strict about that with giving the invitations of like party start times, dinner times.
So here's just as a throw this out there kind of thing.
Tell you
just
3
tell
o'clock
me too.
Yeah.
I mean,
so, but it really is. But it's like Rob is one of the best people for that. Like when I invite Rob over for dinner, he knows I mean for him to get there like 3 hours early. We'll just hang around the kitchen and drink vodka. And kind of cook, but mostly talk
Chat
and listen to
and hang
music
out. Right,
and chat.
right,
But that's what the cousins would always do. The cousins would always show up, and it didn't matter the holiday. Mom always had the blender going. Somebody was handling the turkey.
Sure.
My grandparents were fighting with my dad about something. Like,
Yeah.
Sure.
there's just everybody kind of releasing that energy so that when you finally, it wasn't just rush and now we got to eat. Like,
Were you in the basement listening to the hi-fi?
oh,
with
of
the
course I was.
cousins?
Oh,
Yeah.
everyone got trapped into Donna Summer Last Dance.
Right.
Don't even
Right,
don't
right,
think
right.
that anyone escaped that.
Yeah. Love the cousins in the basement times.
Yeah, because they were all like, "Oh Jesus, I've got to listen." How many times got to listen to Last Dance before he released
Right.
it?
For me, it was Duran Duran.
And I would hazard to say the second one that's just easy is New Year's Eve. For me, when you say New Year's Eve is very difficult, so easy for me.
Yeah, I have nothing. I have no
If-
idea what to do that night.
if-
It ends up get smaller and smaller.
If I'm in Minnesota, I'm going to be at my friend Amy and her husband Soren's basement. Her name is Amy Bomberg, and we call her Bomb. So the basement is the bomb shelter.
Oh, cool.
And they have a huge garage, like a kind of 3-car garage outside that they call the Garage Mahal. That's where
Nice.
everyone goes to smoke
Sure.
and like you know
Yeah.
you're out back. And it's wonderful, and that's home, and that's exactly where you're supposed to be to me. Otherwise, I want to be at my house.
Yeah.
The end. Like if I'm here, we'll have a fire in the back, and we'll play games, and we'll just stupid shit. But I do not want to be at a bar. Like
Yeah.
it
And
skeeves me
Right.
the fuck out to be
Absolutely.
at a bar on New Year's Eve.
Like a couple years ago, it was just Renee and Tim and I. Then last year, you came over. Like 2 years ago, people just came over and just get here safely, get
Right.
home safely. It doesn't
Right.
end at midnight. We're just gonna sit around and shoot the shit and drink and party. And
Maybe
this year,
some board
Mark had a
games,
lovely
yeah.
party. Harrison and I went there, and then we went home.
Right.
We went back to my house and really got trashed because we didn't have the bikes anymore. And we seriously turned on dance music and moved everything in my living room and danced around in the living room and sang and screamed at each other for like an
Right.
hour and a half.
Yep.
Beat that.
And had a little dance party. And we had the best time.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But it had nothing to do with New Year's. It was just about...
It was about being together.
Yeah,
and that's
just hanging out
that's
and-
exactly the point. I mean, I want that you can ring in something new on a Tuesday in June. I don't give a shit. But that whole idea of New Year's Eve and being around the people that, if I can, that I want to be around.
Right.
And not just at the amateur night at the bar where people are coming up and just hugging you. Last time I was in a... that's not true. It was a couple of years ago.
But
'Cause I
then
was at
the year you
Apollo's.
came over, we were there till like 5 in the morning. I mean, it was
Yeah.
like 4:35 before people were like, all right, we got to wrap this up
Right,
now.
right.
Like, yeah. I mean, and there's horrible videos of me in a wig doing something.
I took a
Oh, I
picture.
love it.
If by
Oddly-
horrible you mean awesome.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, digress.
we
That's it.
we had been there so long that we actually came back to sober. Like,
right.
we were there.
The pendulum swang
right.
back.
We came back around. Right.
You're
Yeah.
like, I can't face any more liquor down.
Right.
But then the Oscar thing is seriously just Doug and I. Like everybody else is just, and that's why I always scream out his name because that's the one day that our friendship is Doug and I are the closest because we've just been obsessed about this, and to meet somebody later, like at 19, 20, who like had another childhood obsession. You know, we never talk about this. His mom went to the Oscars twice
Oh wow.
because her college roommate was her college roommate's father was a Hollywood producer, and he didn't like to go, so he gave his daughter his ticket and brought Doug's mother as a guest 2 years. And I want to say it was the
cool.
year of West Side Story,
Oh.
and maybe
That's
West
so
Side Story, and maybe
cool.
Judgment at Nuremberg. But
I would like to congratulate my friend Rebecca, whose sister was an associate producer on Innocente,
Oh,
which
very
won
exciting.
documentary, and it's the first Kickstarter project to win an Academy Award.
that's very exciting.
Nice.
Yes.
Something I think you'll get a kick out of this. So this past weekend, Jason Carlton, roommate, had to delay his birthday celebration a week because he worked last weekend. It was rodeo weekend.
Right.
So this weekend, he and his boyfriend took 4 days, and went to California, did Six Flags, and went to
Nice.
Venice Beach and all this other stuff. So they were getting ready to go, and his boyfriend works for Armani in makeup. So he'd scheduled his days off, and all of a sudden a manager's like, "Oh, you're going to be in LA on Sunday." And he's like,
sure.
"Well, yeah." They're like, "Oh God, we need you." And he's like, "For what?" And he goes, "Makeup for the Oscars." And he's like, "Oh, I can't."
how cool.
He's like, "I can't do it." He goes, I'm on a vacation with my boyfriend. I can't." So Carlton finds out about this. He goes, What?
Right? That is a vacation top. Yeah.
Are you high, Clary?
Right.
Yeah.
So Shane said
Clary?
Shane said no to doing makeup for the Academy Awards, which would have made them be at the Academy Awards there.
Oh.
And I said to Jason, I'm like, oh my God.
No sense of occasion.
Why? Because Carlton was like, oh my God, I could have been at the Academy
That's so
Awards with
cool.
all the. That would have been great.
Yeah.
Even though
Happy birthday.
Shane would have had to have worked, and he would have made like $1,000 that day just painting, putting
He's
eyeliner.
made some bad life choices all in one day.
But
He might as well take off his seatbelt and smoke.
But he,
Copious
Next
amounts.
well, the odd thing is that Carlton is quitting. According to him, he's already been ramping down. The first is when he's done. That's what he says. He said he always promised himself he would quit by the time he was 35, and he just turned 34. So
Quit what?
Carlton smoking.
Oh, I was like, quit his job.
I thought the same thing.
Like,
I was trying to track
quit
that
smoking.
piece.
You said smoking. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Carlton,
no,
I'm with you
they're
now.
both supposed to be ramping down, but we'll see how that all works out.
Okay.
But anyway, Carlton was like, the boyfriend was like, well, I didn't want to have to work on our vacation. He's like, but it was the Academy Awards.
That's
Deal breaker.
Yeah.
But it all worked out. They had a great time.
And last year for the artist, the guy that won for costumes actually went to my high school and did costumes for the LaSalle players, and in his speech thanked the people of Niagara Falls.
That's so cute.
Yeah, so my drama club has an Oscar.
Did you see Anna Karenina?
Yes.
Okay. I
Loved
was
it.
really glad that it won.
Yes,
Yeah.
me too. And I thought that was the Lincoln category, but all of the movies in that set decoration were absolutely gorgeous, and that's the other reason I lost.
I wish it would have won cinematography too.
No, that was Life of Pi. That was.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Yeah, that wasn't gonna happen. That one didn't have a snowball's chance in hell.
Right.
But,
Yeah.
next caller.
Right?
I like how you weren't here for the beginning, but you're caught on.
No, I'm right here.
Right.
Yeah. I got it.
But I
Quick on
gotta
the
tell you,
uptake.
that was the one that I was so nervous because Buddy and I have talked about like directors that we don't like because they have their imprint all over the movies, like Steven Spielberg.
Baz
And he does,
Luhrmann.
yeah, he
Yeah.
does. Oh, so you know exactly where I'm going. So I thought, oh my God, Buddy must have hated Anna Karenina because it looks like I thought it was Baz Luhrmann that directed it. It
Oh,
was
you did?
so staged. Oh, it was such a red curtain production. It looks.
Okay.
I mean,
yeah.
it really did.
I can't wait to see Gatsby.
Breathtaking. And then I
Yes.
found out that
Oh,
Buddy
I want
loved
to see
it.
Gatsby.
Yeah, but that's going to be Baz Luhrmann, so that's going to be really out there.
Okay.
That's going to be Moulin Rouge.
Oh, I
want
love
it
that.
to be that.
I love that.
I love Art Deco anything.
What about that
So
Oz
please
thing?
make it.
Where's everybody
oh,
at
I
with
wanna
that?
see
Oh,
it.
I
I'm
wanna see
on
it.
board.
I'm
on
very
board.
intrigued to see
Yeah,
it.
me
Just
too.
even though I don't like fiction, I routinely don't. But because growing up so much with The Wizard of Oz
Absolutely.
and loving Garland and all the other
Yeah.
things that go with it and all the trivia that goes along with that movie,
Right.
I just want to see where they're going with
Yeah,
it
me
and how
too.
they're doing it. That's-
Intrigued.
And I
yeah.
love variations on. I love the variations on the tail. Like it looks.
Yep.
James Franco, I love him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Yeah,
not gonna,
I-
I can't
Okay.
deny it.
Clayton, you've seen Wicked on the stage?
No.
Oh, you really would
you
love
really
that.
should.
Yeah, but what's funny
It's
is I
so
have
good.
it doesn't interest me at all.
But it's the Wizard
you
of
know
Oz.
what? I was like,
I understand what it is, but I still for some
I
reason
have
it
to tell
does
you,
not get me.
for a very long time, I was the same exact way. And then my friend Dana played the music. Played the
See,
music
and I
for
couldn't
me.
care less about the music.
Right, but I had never. There was nothing,
Yeah.
and someone said read the book, and then I'd have people don't read the book. You have
Right.
to see that, and I was like, oh, for Christ's sake, this is complicated.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
It's complicated for the love of God.
For the love of Christ.
And then Dana played the music. She just put the CD on, and I was like, well, that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Kinda
And
like
how
that.
they
And-
work in Dorothy
Yes.
and how
Oh
they
my God! You find out how
all the characters
Tin
come to be,
Man
like
and
the origin
lion.
stories of every
Oh.
character is
It's
so
so good.
well done. And I think the book is terrible. I'm not a fan of the book.
I
That's
can't.
what I
I've
heard.
tried 3
Yeah.
times to get through the book, and I can't
Yep.
get past the first.
You were one of
100
them that
pages.
said just don't do it.
No. No, I loved it. I love that show.
Yeah. On
Oh,
the other,
our book club, if anybody wants to play along with the book club, is
When did we get a book club?
Right?
a couple weeks ago I started talking about it.
I mean,
down,
I'm
Oprah.
in, but whatever. I
It's
haven't heard of
called The Collector by John Fowles. And I can't find my iBooks. So I haven't started it yet, but he wrote The French Lieutenant's Woman, and The Collector is kind of a intriguey psychopath that collects butterflies and gets caught up in a girl that's a little unattainable. Just we were talking about because at work we've been all trying to do this book club thing. So John Fowles, The Collector, and it's supposed to be creepy good. It's
When
from the
did you start
60s.
it?
I have not. I just downloaded it yesterday. So
I might get it just
Yeah.
for that. Yeah.
Sure.
I'm still trying to get into the Night Circus.
oh, I'm not familiar.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna have to start it over again because I've gotten
Oh, I hate that.
Too
Yeah.
far out of it.
too
Yeah.
far
Yeah.
out of it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Then I'm like, okay, I can't remember these characters' names. Who the fuck are
Exactly.
they? But I still have not gotten
Right.
over the psychological damage of Into the Darkest Corner it did to me. That was a book I just finished that I thought I needed therapy. All
really.
right, let's get out of
As
here.
we find ourselves in our final minute or so, anybody have any parting?
Next caller.
As we find ourselves, anybody got any final comments for this Tuesday night, the last Tuesday in February?
I got to make an entertainment
Bye,
section
Benny.
that doesn't include the Oscars. What the fuck am I going to do for the
Right,
next
you're
50
fucked
weeks?
for-
Now,
Yeah.
you're kind of you're out of election season. You're out of award season. What do you got now?
We'll be
Nothing.
fine.
Come up with some-
You'll be fine.
It'll just be movie reviews
You know,
from here on out.
I hope that everyone's enjoyed the cookies. And bye, Benny. Later.
Yo, Benny.
Bye.
Benny.
Hands to yourself,
Oh,
Benny.
Benny. Oh.
Yeah.
The Popester.
Clearly, you care
The
more
little
than I do.
Pope Meister.
There's that.
No, I want
Popemeister.
I want him out of there. I just want all of it. Like, let the scandal break. You know, talk about it. You know, figure it out and fix this shit. But
It's
Benny
the
needs to
elephant
go
in
away.
the living room of the world. I
Yeah,
don't
it really is.
understand how we've let it go this far.
And how everyone the preaches Christianity will just sit there and
spew hate.
and
Yeah.
bow their heads and ignore the fact that children are getting hurt. I just have no time for it.
And that they had to have a vote in Phoenix to not discriminate against
Against
handicapped
handicapped
people.
people.
Right.
Come on.
The fuck?
It's the show. It's a Tuesday night. We thank you for being
Damn,
here.
Gina.
Damn,
Gina.
Next caller. We are wrapping up hour 3. We thank you for being here. I'd like to send a special thank you out to Molly Montgomery for filling in for Katy June.
My pleasure. as
Also in
always.
studio, it's Marnie Ryer and Al Perkins. We do this every single week. I'm Clayton McKee. On behalf of QTalk America and everybody else here at the studios, I'd like to say thank you and good night. And as we finish each and every week, we'd like to say we will see you next Tuesday!
You've been listening to the show on QTalk America.